Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic and its community. I am Bobby, back from my week break in Atlanta, and I'm also known as Blazing Bob. But I'm also joined by Mel, also back from her break in, did I say Atlanta? I meant to say Austin. I meant to say Austin.
We were in Austin. Yeah, I don't know when he went to Atlanta.
Massachusetts. Awkward. Or was it Boston, Texas?
I'm so confused right now.
Road trip. Oh. It's what he said in road trip. Okay, but joke.
Road trip.
Yep, joke went over everybody's head. I'm old. Sorry.
Yep.
But also,
I'm laughing on the inside.
First off, amazing movie. You're not too old for that.
It is so good. Tom Green is like
Tom Green.
They went to Boston, Texas. Austin, Massachusetts. All right. Well, we're also joined by Crix, aka Crix Vibes. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Love you guys. I missed you guys.
Missed you too. Missed you too.
A whole lot of hardcore.
Yeah,
Hardcore, some would say.
Yep. I'm dying too much in hardcore. That's for sure. But
yes.
But
I'm waiting for Bob to level back up a lot in hardcore.
But was he like a martyr and he's saving your life, or like he's just like throwing hard?
Well, it was definitely martyr along with drunk for
oh yeah,
some of
dude.
It. Yeah.
I can't drink and play hardcore. I used to. I used to smoke and play hardcore. You can't.
It's bad.
It's just so many deaths happen.
It's bad. It's bad. Also joining us is Josh from the Mere Casuals podcast. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
See, you're sporting the Toronto Raptors.
I got the Toronto Blue Jays hat and the Toronto Raptors shirt. Figured I'd represent.
Nice. Okay. Representing.
I don't know what the Raptors
Canada.
are. What are the Raptors?
They are an NBA basketball team. 2019 NBA champions.
Dinosaurs.
All right.
They're really good, actually. I used to love them.
I used to love basketball, and then I stopped loving basketball. I think I'd love basketball more now if they moved the goal up at least another foot. Like, basically, everybody's gotten too tall, and it's boring for me now. I still love college basketball, as I wear a Jayhawks hat, but, like, they're just too tall for the NBA.
But the defenders are tall, too.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't like seeing somebody set a ball in a goal. Like, I want to see dunks.
There's like three guys
slam
that can
dunks,
do that.
like
There's
back
three
in the
guys
day.
in the world that can just sit it in there. Everyone else has to jump.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, they jump 4 inches, yes, but like, I don't call that jumping. You know, I don't know.
Jumping.
It's like tippy. Yeah, it's like a high step.
Yeah, football for me. I pretty much like soccer more than I like basketball now these days. It's weird.
I feel like if I got into it, I would like it, right? But we don't have a team here in Kansas City, so it's hard for me to get into. And I have the Chiefs.
We do have a soccer team.
What else do I need?
Do have a soccer team. I love it.
You have a soccer team.
Yep. The oh my God. I just blanked. Sporting KC. Yeah, we actually
We have a women's soccer team.
We're really good. We're going to, I think. I don't know if we have it. We do.
Kansas City Current. We do.
Yeah, they're building them a stadium downtown, but no, we've got like one of the better like soccer teams. Like, we have a whole bunch of people that, you know, every 4 years that go to the Olympics for soccer to represent us.
Soccer has the worst team names, though. Like, they're the most boring team names.
Can I tell you
This is
something?
true. What?
Fuck the Chiefs.
Oh,
I'm glad you lost to the Lions. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eat
But
that.
who's gonna win at
Fucking
the
eat it.
end when your Chargers are at the bottom
Not
of the
the fucking
AFC
Chargers.
West?
Hey, we're not the
and-
bottom.
your Chargers
We're
had,
second to the bottom.
dude, you had years of just being awesome. Like, I mean, the Chiefs have
Yeah,
been
Phillip Rivers
pretty
hit.
much bad like
But he
my
was so
entire
whiny.
life, right?
So
Like,
Right.
good, and he would be like so perfect. He'd be like, "Oh my god, I love this guy," and then he would throw an interception every time or some shit. in the fourth
Yeah,
quarter,
some
and you're like, "I fucking hate
14-2
you."
teams with no Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
yeah, well, the
Oh.
Chiefs are a good organization, treats everybody well. The AFC Championship trophy is named after the owner or the founder of the team. His son's the owner now, but it's the Lamar Hunt Trophy.
Mhm.
We're a storied franchise that's only won three Super Bowls in the entire time. Like,
But
I don't
2 in the last 5 years.
true.
So,
True. That is true. But yeah, like we can live it up now. But like people act like we're like the bad guys, and I'm like, dude, we hate the Patriots. Stop.
That's what
Not
happens
yet.
when you win. You're the bad guys.
I
No
just
one likes
feel
a
so
winner.
bad for the Jets.
And
But this is not
every year-
no. We need to stop this. All right, guys, we're gonna
Never
have a
feel bad
great
for the
show
Jets. The
about.
Jets deserve everything that happened to them.
We're gonna have a great show about WoW, WoW Classic, and we're going to start out by thanking our tank patrons and Thick Lizzie, Croxford, Braxton, and Turtle Whale. I want to mention that we stream this show live on Twitch, twitch.tv/BlazinBob. That's BLAZZINBOB. We also have a new Discord server. I guess it's not new anymore, but like it's still growing quite a bit. You need to come in and help it grow more. That's discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded, or go to warcraftreloaded.com to see all the links. The call-in voicemail. We have one voicemail this week. That's what we'll be hitting first on the show. But just a reminder, the number is 816-866-1066, or go to speakpipe.com/Warcraft Reloaded.
I feel like people don't leave voicemails because they don't want to dial that many 6s. I'm just throwing that out there, you know?
Yeah, too
Devil
bad.
number.
Too bad. If you so we're gonna go over the one voicemail first, then we're gonna do what have we been doing lately in WoW, then we're gonna do a little bit of news. We're gonna recover one piece of the news that Go and the crew covered without us last week. Also a huge shout out to Go, Scotty J, and Table Slam for filling in and running the show without us while we were on vacation. Thank you so much for giving the listeners of the show something to listen to. And, you know, I've been hearing from a lot of people it's the best show ever. And I have to
you
agree.
could have done a little worse, I think. I think the idea was that, you know, you come on and you really show the people that, you know, Bob and Mel are really who they want, but you kind of did the opposite. So I don't know if I should thank you, but
the YouTube comments are the best. Like I saw this one where it's like this guy's like, "Oh, best show ever. There was no interruptions at all." And I'm like, you must get interrupted a lot in your life because you whine about it all the time.
You need interruptions.
Yeah, I mean, I based the
happens really
show.
easily.
Well, I based the show off sports talk radio, and like. That's just, it's going back and forth. Like, and I encourage anybody to interrupt me. Like, if you're adding to the conversation, then like do it. Like, I don't see what this guy just wants people to just like, he must just not get listened to a lot in real life. And he's like, just let me talk, man. You know, but I don't know. But then there was other comments like, like this one guy who always gives me shit in the comments is like, I never thought I'd say this, but I miss Bob. I was cracking up. I was like, oh man. But okay, so and then we're gonna go at the end, we're gonna talk about hardcore. So yeah. That being said, you guys ready for the first voicemail?
let's do it.
All right. I thought I had it up, but I've failed and not had it up. But it's coming up right now.
Bob, Mel, and guests. What's up, guys? I know it's been a while, so I've got 2 questions, but they're quick. Number 1, we have hardcore servers now, so what do you think is next for hardcore? Do you think, okay, you got servers, they're done, or will they do something else? Or aside from the solo self-found mode that Blizzard has promised, do you think maybe they will make, I don't know, something for Kata or maybe account-wide achievements for hardcore or something to that effect? Anyway, just kind of wondering your thoughts on that. And
So we'll stop it right there. He likes to get every second that he can on his voicemail. It cracks me up.
Did Wizard
Gotta
promise
pack that
solo
info
self
in there.
found?
Yes,
Promise
he
it,
was
but they
saying
flirted with it.
he was saying besides that, and I
I
think
know,
he's
but he
going
said that
even
Wizard said
past. I think he's going even past, like, it doesn't have to be hardcore. Like, what could be next? Like, it could be hardcore Wrath. It could be hardcore. Like, are they going to hardcore for all of the iterations, or maybe they're
Hardcore
going to
Wrath's
do
too
something
easy.
else?
A lot of people have asked about for TBC. They asked if they're going to do it, but I don't know. I think they'll just keep it at the basic because there's a big difference from the world of Classic versus the outside world in TBC and Lich King. Like, I think TBC and Lich King are both to be rather easy. The experience cut down in the most dangerous worlds will be rough. They're not going to hardcore Kata for sure. That's different. That's more of like, there are people who are doing hardcore Lich King. That's something that you would just do and join the community and do it on your own. Maybe if there's enough people that wanted to later, I could see it, but I don't see. It's the atmosphere that's in Classic 60. That's
I
what
mean,
means,
I
that
can
people like so
definitely
much.
see Wrath of the Lich King. Like, but if I was going to do hardcore in Wrath of the Lich King or TBC, I would want to just start at, like, 58 and 68. Like, I really wouldn't want to
No,
start.
that's the fun of it, though. The fun of it
Right.
is.
I mean, it is cool having a mount at 20. Like, that would be really cool. Like, having
Talent changes too would be nice.
See, the
talent
problem with
changes.
the problem with hardcore and Wrath would be that 1 to 58 is too fast and easy.
Yeah, and it is. But I have seen people who do. There's a big. Well, there was before launch at least. There's a big, community of people playing hardcore Lich King, and I've seen a lot of people get to, like, they finally make it all the way to Outlands. They clear Outlands. And they finally get to level 78 or whatever, level 68 or whatever, or 70, and they get into Northrend and they die right away to something. They die like instantly right away. I've seen Boomy's Starfall in the fucking Caldera area just pull everything.
Dude,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
You know what I mean?
I
I've seen
think
dragons that they die real fast.
if you go through without flying, I mean,
Yeah, you'd have to not fly.
yeah, I
That's a
mean,
big one. Like,
like-
if you could somehow
Oh,
be
yeah.
grounded the whole
although
time.
not flying
Also,
an
what
ice
about the
ground,
raiding?
I
The
don't
raiding would
know.
be kind of easy. I think Lich King raids would be kind of easy at 80.
Yeah,
Beginning
sure.
ones.
yeah. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how much buzz there would be for that. Like,
There wouldn't be
Damn.
as much.
yeah, you do have to have it. Like, what makes it, and we'll talk about this later, but like, what makes it hard is the fact that it is vanilla and like it's janky and like there's different stuff. But I got some hot takes on different things going into when we talk about hardcore, but I'd like to save that for the end for everybody.
Well, and also, like, the hardcore community, the Classic community in a nutshell is like super pro Classic, not TBC, not
Right.
Lich King. They're like super into vanilla, the Classic area. So any kind of outside Classic shit we get, people are always kind of like, not everybody, but a lot of people are always kind of against,
Yeah, it's just like,
See, if there's one
Yeah.
thing, that would keep me playing hardcore Classic, though, it's achievements. Like,
I
I want to
agree.
see them put
Oh,
achievements
God,
in.
yeah.
Like, I want something to keep track in game of what I've done. And
and it better be cross character.
oh yeah, like account wide achievements for Classic hardcore. Because as soon as someone dies, you lose all those achievements, right? You got to hold on to that.
Yeah,
I think they
that's-
should.
that's
They
what
even
would keep
have
me.
all the achievements. They can take it from the add-on that we did. Like, if they're all achievements are in there, they can just take it from there.
Right.
I think if they did freshes, like seasons, that would be cool too. Like a fresh season of hardcore, because that race right now, like, there's only one guild really doing everything right. You have someone trying, but it's
Right.
really just our guild. Whereas if you can imagine 6 months or a year, insert time zone, they did another fresh, and all these other guilds who just watched all these better guilds do it, are like, okay, now I know what we're doing. We know how to prepare. It would like leave that kind of,
and maybe you maybe can
competitive
even
atmosphere
say,
for it.
instead of saying better guilds, because us in Frontier have been getting a lot of hate, maybe we say more prepared guilds.
Yeah, if you want, sure.
I mean, I guess
Well, the
better
word-
goes into being more prepared, but like,
Yeah, that's a nice way to say it, but we all know what I mean.
Well, the word going into hardcore was that Frontier was the guild that was going to be raiding, right? So I feel like everybody who had intentions on raiding was aiming for that. So there wasn't really a lot of competition.
Yeah,
They were aiming for it, but they didn't get in.
Too,
yeah, I mean, how
it's been pretty closed, and I don't want to be, obviously I don't want to shit talk my own guild, but it's been really closed off. with who's allowed in and out. And even still now, there's 60s like, yo, can I come in and just be a social? And they're like, not yet, like because you never know who's doing what.
Exactly.
Right.
It's been pretty closed off, streamer heavy, but like not like the meme streamies.
I
kind of like this.
I like feel bad because like I get tells constantly asking to get in or who to talk to, and I don't even want to tell them who to talk to because I don't want that, you know, those like officers to get bugged. You know what I mean? Like, but like it's sad, but like there's a lot of stake, like, and so like, you know, it is a lot of
blame them.
Yeah, it is a lot of creators, but that's for a reason. It's because those people have a presence online. If someone screws you over, like you can see their past, you can see what they've done. Like if, you know, if someone screws you over, like
even like the most like meme person in the guild by far is Mitch Jones, and a lot of people I'm not saying he's a meme, but a lot of people are like, why would he be in there? He's busting his ass harder than the most people in the guild right now. Like he's streaming offline. He's exalted all his reps out. He's like grinding everything that he needs to do. He's grinding himself to do to prove a point to people. Whereas when he came in the guild, even I was like, I don't trust. Like he's cool, he's funny, he's a good streamer, but like, how do I know he's not gonna kill people for content and shit like that? You know?
Right.
So even like the people, all the streamers like who are in there, you know, Cedu's in there, whoever's in there, they're gamers. Like they're actually gaming. Like everyone's performing. You know?
Yeah. Well, let's also save that talk though. Let's does anybody have any like idea for a server besides hardcore? Because I know Josh talked about something on Mere Casuals months back. Like what if they made a server that like, you know, was like a straight up PvP, like open everything. Like you could attack anybody and people drop their loot and or you could
just
sell your loot back, right? Like you could sell your loot on the auction house after you like got an upgraded item or something.
They just made like an extraction game out of World of Warcraft, like some Escape from Tarkov. Like you launch in the game, and there's little portals that take you out to Dalaran that are your extraction points, and you can sell in the auction house and stuff. That'd be dope.
You would want it to start, like you would honestly want it to start at level 60 and have all the zones be 60 zones and drop like
maybe
the right type of gear. I'm thinking like Ultima Online when I think about this, because that's how it was. Like it was like, man, dude, if you could have been not 3 back then, Crix, you would have fucking loved it, dude. We just killed everybody and took all their shit and then took their.
I'm only like 2 years younger than you.
There's no way. I'm old, dude.
How old are you?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to.
How old are you?
I'm over 40.
Oh, I'm under 40. What's up?
Me too.
I thought we went over this at BlizzCon, and me and Mel were around the same age, and Bob was like...
you are. But
Bob's like 7 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're over 40. You keep saying you're way older than me. You know I'm over 40, right?
Yeah. You okay? So you would have been like a freshman when I was like, a senior. Like we would have went to the same high school, but you would have been a freshman when I was a senior.
So
old
you're
dude.
almost 50. That's what you're saying.
50? No. I'm not there. I'm not there.
That's barely older. That's barely older.
It's like entering grandpa status, basically, is what we're trying to.
Back in my day, we used to be able to kill people and take their shit.
Oh god!
Now
did you ever play a game called Tibia since you're older?
No, I didn't.
The old MMO Tibia. Okay.
Tibia, no.
Days. It's like the first MMO that's existed. MMORPG. Sorry, I thought you were older. Sorry.
You're losing your old person cred.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the first MMO I played wasn't really an MMO, but it was like you would join a 4-man group and do a dungeon, and it was 3D, but like you would go one room and it would just go, and it was a 3D picture. Then you could turn left and you could see down that hall, or turn right, see down that hall. Yeah. Like, and
it was on games with graphical interfaces.
Well,
it was Sierra
or some shit just now.
It was the Sierra network, and then it turned into the TNT network. But like, there was Leisure Suit Larryland. There was, oh dude, it was crazy. Like,
see, I got my start with BBS games, text-based BBS games. You had to dial in your friends.
I tried to play those like on like on BBC, like on BBCs, like ANZ graphic BBCs.
Now?
See, that's all.
I don't even know what a
BBC
is.
You
It
don't
was,
wanna know. Google BBC right now, Mel.
Yeah, it was like dude, I could get like, it was I was like 14 and I could get like any game that I wanted to on BBC's because it wasn't regulated, so I could pirate any game. It was so beautiful.
And all I get is the the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Oh, you're lucky your Google fucking censored it.
She's in safe mode.
Yeah, it also stands for Big Black
Roosters.
Chickens.
Yeah, it wasn't BBC's. It was just BB's. Bulletin boards, I think.
It was BBS's.
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 Yeah.
So the thing I said a couple minutes ago
Yep.
that you ignored and went off on your BBC rant.
Do you guys miss, this is random, but I talk about it a lot on stream. Do you guys miss gaming back in the day versus now?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Like, even though it was worse graphics and it wasn't so like, dude, I miss it so much.
Yeah,
See, when I was in high school,
playing games now sometimes.
See, when I was in high school, we would all take our custom built computers over to my friend's garage and set up for like 2 or 3 days and play LAN parties and play all the games there. Like those were the days I miss.
Like,
the LAN parties and just the like
old
pure
games that you
the
can't
pureness
even
of it.
now.
Like
It's just the pureness of it, like-
naivety.
Yeah, where it's like you're figuring it out. Like you're
nobody knows.
Yeah, and you're just like, and you figure something out and you're really excited about it. Like now you play a new game and as much as you can say, yeah, and as much as you could say, like, I'm just gonna go through this my way. You're not. Like you're gonna get on Google and you're gonna get to a point where
you pull up the guide
Dude,
and you got
Mel
the
and
guide open for the whole game.
Mel and I have tried
You guys
so
get the
hard.
LAN party all the time together. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we've been playing Baldur's Gate in a duo. She controls 2 people and I control 2 people. And we've been trying so hard. If we get stuck, we're like, don't look it up. Just fucking, we can figure this out.
Because I've seen you stream Baldur's Gate. You're constantly yelling at people for not checking the guide.
Yeah. Oh,
no, you're talking about Diablo.
I don't know. I think I'm talking about Baldur's Gate.
No,
so we did use the guides for the builds.
We did. Yeah, we used the guides for the builds, but there's a lot of hard puzzles to figure out and like multiple ways to beat puzzles. And I'm like, we could figure this out. We don't want to look up a guide to tell us how to do this. Like, whereas in World of Warcraft, I love that. Like, I'd hate trying to figure it out, but like in Baldur's Gate, it's so good. Why is
to be
there
honest,
an
I don't
ad
watch your
break?
stream that often, so maybe I just.
So we don't stream Baldur's Gate anymore. I told Bobby we couldn't stream Baldur's Gate. 1, it's kind of boring to watch, and
That's why I didn't stream
2,
it.
yeah, it's like because it's slow and it's like turn based, and we didn't know what we were doing. So like the majority of the stream was us just like staring at like our like spells and like trying to figure out like what the fuck we were like
dash 10 yards and hit enemy 2 tiles away.
Right? It's like, okay, I think I can do this. And then Bob always takes like 1,000 years on his turn. I don't understand to this day.
That's his age, just talk to him.
The old person.
I will say,
because he's reading the guide trying to min-max.
For the first time in years, my friend Only Black Smoke drove down here he lives 3 hours away from me. They drove down here for the launch of Class for Hardcore, and we LAN partied behind me. He sat behind me. The desk is still there. He sat behind me. They brought his computer down, set it up, and I'm talking like we hit it hard. And it was the first time LAN partying forever, and it was so much fun. It was like, it reminded me of like literally playing vanilla. When vanilla was out, me and my cousin played together all the time. We camped out for TBC. We came back. We weren't even level 60 on our main character. Had to share the character. Grinding to get 58 so we can go through the dark portal. Like that's what the vibe had.
Dude, even not PC. I remember I lived with 3 other roommates in this huge townhouse. We worked at the new theater restaurant, bunch of servers. Like it was right after college, looking for a new job and everything. And like, we all 4 of us had Xboxes, the original. And like every like 2 weeks, we would get a bunch of people, friends and people that worked at the new theater restaurant to come over, bring their extra controllers, everything. We would use a hub, hook up the 4 Xboxes and play 8-on-8 Halo and like
all the time.
we would put everybody's name into like a hat.
Cheating.
Or no, we put like team 1 and team 2 in a hat, like 16 of them. Have everybody pick. We would play best 3 of 5. Then we would re-pick teams because it sucked if like somebody really good like all got on the one team, and we'd keep playing. And when people would come over, they'd be like, Bobby. I mean, I remember this one guy who fucking hated me at work, but came over because he was friends with one of my roommates, and he came up to me after. He's like, Bob, I know we've had our differences and stuff, but I'd like to squelch that. Like, please invite me back to this if you do it again. I was like, oh yeah, we do it like every 2 weeks. He was like, thank you. I will be cooler at work, I promise. He's kissing my ass because he was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. Like, it was so much fun.
It's just not something that happens as much anymore, right? Like, because you don't have to, right? Like, to play together and in that environment, you kind of had to do that at that time. And now you can do it online. And it does make it easier to access. It makes it, where you can play still with friends when you can't come over to their house, right?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing I find. It's games like WoW and EverQuest before it. That's what killed LAN parties for me. Because we used to do those all the time. And as soon as I got into those games, I mean, we were already playing online just remotely, and we stopped getting together as much. And we stopped, killing each other in Counter-Strike as often.
In high school, we would actually, I remember after the football games, they'd all bring our computers to our house, my aunt's house, and we'd just sit there and still LAN party playing WoW. People would just bring the computers, hook the Ethernets up, and then it just stopped one day. It was just like, all right, guys, I guess we don't need to drive all the way to your house to do this. We can do it from my own house now. Yeah. That automatically took the fun out of it,
All right, well,
the Ventrilo days.
Mega Man, I hope that answered your question. We'll move on to the next question.
Was that the question?
We got away from the question. But we answered it with a few different things. We
definitely answered the question.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play the next one.
The second question.
If that wasn't...
Okay. We know we're getting RDF, and no, Blizzard hasn't said it's going to be cross-realm, but the very likelihood it is. So
I think they did say that it was going to be cross-realm.
Is that Mega Man?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Cool.
Oh, so this is part 2.
Yeah, this is part 2. But I think Mega Man, okay, I watched, I haven't confirmed it, but I trust the source. I watched an awesome no-hit Jerome video just today, and he said it was going to be cross-server, so I'm trusting in him. Yeah.
It would have to be.
It's crossover, yeah.
All right, so here's
my question. Why are people hateful on the idea of it being cross-faction too? I mean, when I'm doing heroics of any type, I gotta be honest, I wouldn't care if my healer is an undead or a priest or a dwarf. Like, who cares? Like, honestly. And honestly,
so
if we're going to say the
faction and
PvP thing for factions, like, well, to quote Bob, it's a leprechaun. It's a leprechaun. No. Don't talk to it. Just observe the beauty and grace. People could make National Geographic memes about that at this point. Unless you're on Grovulus, let's be honest, World PvP is dead and probably going to stay dead. So I don't get the hate. I don't get it. So I'm curious about your guys' take on that. Why? Why would that be a bad thing? Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to ask. If you guys have a great show, this is Gonna Get Casual.
First off, though.
What's up, guys? I know it's
whoa. Let's start off.
We're looping the voicemails.
First off, that was a horrible quote for me. It's a leprechaun. A leprechaun. All right.
See, he can't do impersonations either. So
well,
my question...
They're not doing cross-faction. It's supposed to be just cross-server because there's way more than... There's enough Horde and enough Alliance to be able to...
He's asking if it should be.
The idea.
Oh, it should be. I mean, I kind of don't like that. I think they should... Sorry to interrupt, I'm keep talking. I think that they should keep it separate because it also leaves that little bit of difference between Zug versus for the Alliance, I think. Because everything else is already... Like, that's out of the Alliance. I mean, Horde retail. You play retail and it's just you join a group and there's an orc, a goblin, a night elf, and a dwarf, and like a human or something.
Walk into a
warrior,
bar.
we
whatever the fuck.
We can have them infecting our beautiful alliance groups.
You're
right?
already about to go to Kata and Cataclysm. Everything is cross faction, so I don't know if that was like actually. I don't know if that's a private server thing or not. I think it's the real game though.
I don't remember that.
No,
I don't think
retail.
so.
Yeah, retail's cross faction now. They just did
Kata
it.
is, though.
Okay,
They
might be just
just
a server
did
or
it.
not.
I don't know if it was right before Dragonflight or after Dragonflight.
If it wasn't cross server, then I would say cross faction. But I think they should leave that little bit of Zug versus like for the alliance in the game.
Yeah.
See,
I'd rather it be cross server than cross faction.
Yeah, my thing is unless I don't think we need unless they need cross faction to balance things. Like if it ever tipped so far in one direction that you needed to make it cross faction so that a bunch of people would still be able to play, like unless you needed that, then no, it's like it feels unnecessary. Like as long as it's cross server, if you're combining servers where there's enough people across your faction that you don't really need it, then why bother?
I mean, there's a certain level of, I'm not super into the lore, but there's still a certain level of fantasy element that going into a dungeon with other alliance people gives you than going into a dungeon with half alliance, half horde, or one horde within your group, right?
This is what you're bringing up. What Al brought up today while I was streaming hardcore with him. Al brought up that he. It was early on in our adventure.
He hadn't tuned him in yet.
And so Al said that like he said he doesn't like it just because it doesn't make sense for the story. So you're talking, you think you shouldn't have it because of the story, or are you agreeing with Al?
Not only that, I do think that that's part of it, right? And I don't mind like when we weren't cross server and it was so like horde dominated on different servers, and they allowed for like BGs to have the cross faction. Like that was fine because it was the only way you were going to get to play BGs, right? But
that always felt weird though.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt weird, right? Especially like the mask that they gave you, that was the best. That was one thing.
It always confused me. I'm like, am I alliance? Oh, we're winning. Oh fuck, I'm the alliance side this time. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, there's so many Arathi Basin matches where I was like, oh man, we're actually doing well.
Stomping
and I
them
realized
right now.
we were losing badly still. It was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. Why do you want it to be able to do dungeons? Like, what's the point of that? You know what I mean?
I think because he's a retail player, and I think they do it in retail, right?
They just started doing it in retail.
Oh,
though.
really?
Yeah, just like I don't know if it was the very end of Shadowlands or the very start of what's it called, but they just started doing it. We actually covered it on the show, but it's fairly recent
now. Less so now. Like I think in Classic, it definitely wouldn't have worked, right? Because there's different classes and different racials that are so impactful. But even still, I mean, there are different racials and things that would maybe slightly impact like what you can do or what you have access to. I don't know if that's
think it would make a difference gameplay wise, but I mean, like
it's also
you don't need to. So like, what's the point?
Yeah,
like there's enough players on each faction right now where like you can easily find a group. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, see,
so like, why bother?
So for me, people like Al and other people always bring up the lore thing, and I always think to myself, the fuck are you talking about? Like we always group up together to like fight the big bad. Like we're always fighting the big bad. Even in Blizzard cinematics, I forget which one it was, but the human and the orc, they're battling it out, and then the big baddie shows up, and then the orc's like, and he hands the human his sword back. He's like, bro, we got to do this
but you
together.
don't invite him over to dinner for the 5-man groups. You know what I mean? Like you team up when you have to. You don't like.
Yeah, that fucking Tor is always shitting in the house. I don't fucking. Damn it.
I feel like Utgard Keep isn't a big enough threat to warrant cross action.
I just feel, and I also feel like the whole like if we're talking lore, like the whole us not being able to understand the Horde. The Blood Elves speak English. Like, I mean, like we like
they're
they
fucking
could
smart as shit.
They could understand each other in the Warcraft movie. Like, I just don't get the whole like. I know the real reason for it is so people can't shit talk back and forth on PvP servers, but like, It's just, I don't know, man. I think
No,
it's
the
like
lore of it. It's like you can't common language. They can't speak the common language. I love that the game's like that. They're speaking Orcish or demons or whatever. They're speaking all these different languages. It's so dope to me that they did that.
all I ever see is go back to retail.
D&D, you can't even. I don't know Baldur's Gate's like that, but D&D, you can't even understand what people are saying if you don't have a point. Like you don't know their language. You know.
Oh, really?
It's dope.
Interesting.
Yeah, super dope.
Yeah, you got to take special feats for that.
Yeah, the dungeon master walks in and it says some language. This guy says some language and you don't understand because he's speaking Orcish, and you're just like, oh fuck, I didn't put a town in.
Well, I guess I'll just kill him.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's obviously hostile.
Oh, you guys have watched us play Baldur's Gate. I think the whole half the game's dead at this point with us. We keep fucking up and just killing everybody.
Bunch of murder hobos.
We do. Mel's just like, oh, I don't like what he said. He was looking at me weird.
That rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, we're gonna just go ahead, smite.
God.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think also you have to look at the pros and cons of this,
hold on.
right? So
Okay,
let
go
me
ahead.
finish. So
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
pro of doing it is that maybe there's a small section of people that are happy with it, and maybe there's a large section of people that don't care one way or the other, right? But there is definitely a larger section of people that will hate it.
Do you think it's larger?
Right?
Do you think it's
The
larger? Really?
I think there's a larger section of people that will hate it than that will love it.
Huh,
I don't think a lot of
interesting.
people are asking for it. Like nobody.
No.
Well, I shouldn't say
the
nobody.
cross servers more than
but
enough.
Yeah.
I think the only benefit of doing cross faction is to have more people to a pool to play with. That's not an issue with
Cross server solves that though.
Yeah, there's
I-
enough
I guess
alliance,
I
enough
just-
horde of both.
I guess I just don't care because I've played both, and I'm like,
Well, I'm saying the majority of
I'm
people would
basically-
be in the I don't care bucket.
I guess you could play with your friends.
oh, okay.
If you have people, if you're alliance and your friends are horde, and you could somehow like bad BNet friend them and then invite them like you can on retail, then that'd be kind of cool.
But
I
this
guess
is like
that's
saying
a good
only
reason, but-
RDF, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess. Well, if you're able to queue RDF with your friends cross faction,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
if I had you on my friends list, I could invite you only from my friends list. Like you had to be friends on BNet,
Mm,
and
Well-
then we can
Yeah.
queue together maybe. But like at that point, fucking make the same faction
Right.
together.
I do want to bring up one more thing that Al brought up when we were, because I pre-listened to this during stream, so that's why Al answered it. But like, he did bring up a good point that I hadn't thought about. Okay, the loot pinata in IACC, the ship battle, like that's like you're fighting the horde on the other ship. You guys are fighting to see who goes and takes down the Lich King. So I didn't even realize that was what was going on because I don't follow the lore. So like I
don't
thought that was
think
kind of cool.
Anyone's ever cared about the lore of that battle before?
Yeah, I know. It's like faction champions. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just because we can't parse on it.
Well,
Thank
isn't all
God,
of the
too.
RP in TOGC from the Alliance's point of view or something?
I think if you're alliance, right? Oh, like the actual lore? I don't
Yeah,
actually
no,
know
like
the lore of
no, the
TOGC.
actual RP between fights. Like it's
I
all
thought
from
it
one
changed
faction.
if you were horde.
Yeah,
or
I figured
alliance.
it would change. I don't know.
I'm alliance, so I don't know. I've never seen the horde point of view, but I thought if you were horde, then like
I saw the
whatever
horde point of
the
view.
alliance guys is talking to you. Yeah.
I saw the horde point of view back in the day, but I didn't pay attention.
Like, is this still the little gnome that comes out and then Jiraxis as horde?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I think
Jiraxis
it's the
comes
same
out,
for
yeah.
both, isn't it?
So only like the faction champs fight is a little bit different.
Well,
I
yeah, the
assume, like-
faction champs, like the actual NPCs are different.
Yeah, I think the
but
models are
like the
different.
role play
but-
stuff in between, I think, is the same.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
even know if
makes
they
sense.
have racials in that fight. Like, because
They do.
could you imagine if they had racials? Like everybody
Oh, wait, do
had.
they? That's a good point.
Well,
Do they?
hold on. I think everybody does have a PvP trinket, though.
I
Yeah,
feel
they
like
all
I've
have the
been war
PvP
stomped.
trinket, yes.
I feel like I've been war
true.
stomped,
I feel like I've been war stomped as well.
and that's a Tauren racial. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why don't
Side
you
note,
guys tell us what you
I
think?
fucking loved TOGC. I know everybody hated on it. I fucking love TOGC. Quick little 30-minute raid. Boom, bam. You're done. Go back to your life. Time to
I
die because of
love
characters.
it.
I loved it.
I love it when you like do like 3 of them in a row, and it's
Yeah,
like
they're quick. Bam, bam.
and
Thank you, man.
yeah, it's like 2 hours, and you're like, yeah, it was awesome.
It's spoiling people because there's people who have like 20 alts now because of TODC, and they're about to go to
Yep.
ICC and be like, I got time for 2.
I got 4 tunes. I'm gonna have to decide which one to bench because I'm only gonna be able to go to 3 when ICC comes out.
What are you gonna take?
I think I'm going to bench my second rogue because I got a warrior who both tanks and DPSs. I got my main rogue, and then I have a druid who now tanks and DPSs, and I'm really enjoying the druid. So I think I got to drop the second rogue.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll stick with
I
my
think
priest.
I'm gonna stick with a couple. I have 3 warlock. I have 480 warlocks, but I'm probably just gonna go with like 2, and then my fire mage, my shadow priest, and my warrior with Shadowborn.
See, I was just starting to run TOGC on my second paladin when hardcore came out, and I completely abandoned it.
Dude, dropped it. I did not honestly think that I was gonna have, and I've been playing hardcore since literally the inception, the first hour of it being of.
That was when you first started streaming. Yeah, that was when you first started streaming.
I've never had more fun than I've had the past few weeks. 2 weeks, almost a month. Like, I can't believe how much fun I'm having right now. I don't want to go to bed because I just want to keep playing and playing and playing and playing.
That's why I keep dying, because I just keep staying up while I'm too drunk and playing.
Yeah.
Just don't
Well,
die.
you don't have to
it's
drink.
easy enough to just
when
not
you
die.
what you do is you have your main, and then what I used to do when hardcore first came out, I was drinking a lot and smoking a lot. And now I don't really do much of either. But back in the day, I did a lot of it. So I would play a character, and whenever I felt myself kind of getting like, whoa, that pool is crazy, I'm going to switch to my alt. And then I had another alt that I would level up when I was faded. So then when I inevitably died on the main character, I already had like a level 10, 15 ready to go.
That's
Like, I go,
similar
all right,
to
got
what
another
I
character.
did. But on my rogue and my druid, well, my druid I had to be on whenever Mel was on. But like on my rogue, like finally I was like, I'm making it to 60, god damn it. Like, and I was like set. So like as soon as I start feeling faded, I'd be like, all right, it's time to go fishing. We're gonna fish, we're gonna cook.
Mel carry you harder. Just a Mel. Why aren't you carrying him harder so
know.
when he's faded, you can't just be like, jump on my back?
He started getting
I-
higher levels to run him through dungeons.
Listen, last night
Hey,
I was like,
save
he
it
was
for the
like, okay,
hardcore
what are
talk.
we gonna do next? And I'm like, it's like 1:30 in the morning. We're going to bed. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, then she passed out.
Let me know when I'm allowed to talk about hardcore.
And she woke up with a text that said, "Thank you for telling me that I should get off." Like, and I was too drunk to keep playing.
Tired
Thank
of
you.
waiting for him to level back up. Nope, we're going to bed.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you for your voicemail, people. Come on, send them in. It's 816-866-1066 or speakpipe.com/Warcraft Reloaded. What have we been doing lately in WoW? This is just Wrath. Let's just hit Wrath. Mine's gonna be short and sweet, so I'll let anybody who wants to go first go.
Well, I was looking forward to hardcore, so I made sure that all my characters and alts were pretty. I leveled a few more alts, so I have a few warlocks, so Shadow Priest, Fire Mage, and a Fury Warrior. They're just raid logging now, just raid logging them.
Why don't you
Have
run
most of the
any?
raids on one day? Do some parse runs, starting to do some random for no reason, some random parse runs for TOC just to have some a little bit more fun.
Do you run all
GDPs.
do you run all your GDKPs with Imagine Carrying?
Yeah.
Why don't you run any with Enigma? That's who I run with. Like, I'd love to do some like raids with you.
I just have been in the same raids this whole time, just because there's the biggest pots imaginable still.
I mean,
We're looking at
Pubble's
we've had a
pots are
couple,
pretty big though.
We've had a couple over $100,000 payout, on 1,000 gold payouts.
Yeah, that is absolutely nuts.
Like ICC alone, first week having 6 characters or 5 characters and GDPs is going to be like a stupid amount of gold. And I'm so against gold buying, but I'm going to soak up as much gold as I can in these GDPs as possible. I don't care. I'm already there. It's in the game. I might as well. I don't need to buy it. I'm just going to soak up gold. Shadowborn, piece, everything in the world is going to be dropping in ICC.
That's crazy.
The most exciting part about ICC coming out is the GDPs to me. I love them. I wish it was more
Dude, going with good
gold spent that wasn't bought, but still,
Yeah.
whatever.
going with good GDKPs is really fun. It is really fun. Like, and you have a lot of people that really know what they're doing. They might not be the best on that class because they're playing an alt, but like they're still good. Like, they're definitely better than the majority of people playing that class.
It's just fun too. If you want something, it does suck for the people like who don't buy gold versus Joe Blow who came home and spent $1,000 bajillion on gold. You know what I mean? It sucks for those guys.
But you get so
Well,
much
and it
gold the more
doesn't-
you do them too, right? Like,
Well, and it doesn't, like, what I love about it is like, I don't care about parsing at all in a GDKP. So I'm like the best fucking raider. Like, I'm trixing the tank on cooldown because I don't give a shit about our kill time. I'm not going to tricks a DPS. I'm going to help out the tank. I'm kicking every kick. Like, I'm doing the things that you're supposed to do, and it feels good. And I don't give a shit if I parse, right? Whereas, like, in the other one, I'm like, I expect, like, well, we're a tight-knit team. Like, we should be able to parse. Like, that's the whole reason to do this, right? Like, so, like, it's a completely different mindset that makes it actually more enjoyable. Like, I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, I just started doing GDKPs to get my Valinir.
Did you sign up for Monday? Because you still owe me 56K.
Yeah,
I'm a little
56K.
busy.
She's only paying me half back for her Valinir. Oh, yeah. Did you talk about getting Valinir? I don't think you've been on the podcast that you got Val. Yeah, you haven't. Have you? Because you got it the Monday before we went to Austin, and then you used it Tuesday, and then we were in Austin. So you never talked. Yeah. Tell us about your new weapon, Mel.
Yeah. I mean, I got it, and then I raided for the first time with it on hotel Wi-Fi, which was really fun. I was like, man, everybody's like, grats. I was like, I don't even know what is happening right now. So I'm glad I got to debut it here with a really great internet. And I hate doing TOGC on hotel Wi-Fi because it's so unpredictable, and I'm the person that like catches the little orbs, right? And I swear to God, there's always like 3 or 4 that literally just go right through my body, and I'm like, I don't even know how to fix that. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? And
because they went through your body like 3 seconds ago. They passed you 3 seconds ago.
There's no way to predict where I need to stand so that it actually goes through my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's better than others. So I always tell them I'm on hotel internet. I'm just the only disc priest, so I don't have much of a choice. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's not as big of an upgrade for a priest as it is for a lot of other classes, because it doesn't proc on shields, I don't think. It might, though. I haven't really looked into it much.
I think I heard it doesn't.
Well, but there's a heal when I shield somebody too, right? So I'm wondering if the heal could proc it, because I feel like I've gotten a shield and I'm definitely only shielding people.
I don't know, but I thought that's why it wasn't as good for disc priests as the other healers, because they shield a lot, right? But I don't really know.
And I think that's part of it. I mean, the spell power on its own is what makes it the best for disc priests anyways. I mean, we can already shield, so I guess having an extra shield on top of the shield that you give is probably not necessary.
See, I wanted one for my enhancement shaman at the beginning of World War.
But remember, the Pally's putting the shield on. Say Mel does a penance on the tank, or does any heal that's not a shield. Like, she still has a chance to add to the shield that the Pally put up, right? So like, it's just a stacking thing. So you kind of want all your healers to have it, regardless of who they are. It's just the disc priest is the last one you want to have it.
Well, that's why I had to buy it from a GJKP, you know? But it was a lot of fun. It was the first time I was doing GJKPs was to get my Valinir. And I was like really nervous when I first did my first one. I was like, what if I'm not good enough? You know, like, what if they yell at me?
They've seen worse, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I know. And I was buying the Valinir, so I don't think they really gave a fuck, right? They were like, well, you're gonna
someone's got to buy the shards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want people.
How much were the shards?
$8K a piece. I went in. I had 12 when I started doing GDKPs, because I had 12 from our guild runs, and then I was gonna buy the rest. So.
I could afford almost 3 of
into
those.
ICC.
Huh?
How long is that can last you in the ICC, Valinir?
I mean, it just
pretty comparable to it's pretty comparable, because they did the buff. I
figured either way it would help us progress, right? And then if something does drop, I don't know that there's a priest only weapon that would replace Valinir over.
And it's just cool to have a legendary, and she didn't have to pay for most of it,
and
so it worked out.
So, whatever.
You paid for some. I still need that 56K.
Okay, I'm on it. Promise.
He's got
I
to
was
start buying gear
rolling
in
in the money until she got that thing. Ooh, I was rolling.
Oh, come on.
Oh, did you have to fund it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
he wanted me to run
But
2DKP. So
Husband
She's gonna pay
duty.
some back. She's gonna pay some back.
That's why you can't feel. That's why you can't feel bad that you're dying in your duos. You know.
right?
Oh, what
All
about
right.
you, Josh? What have you been up to?
In Wrath.
Yep.
So
You got
Here's
yourself
how
a
much-
fat trinket.
I
know
did. I'll
that.
get to that in a second. But like so last Thursday, someone in our Mere Casuals Discord wanted to run some of the heroic betas. So I got on and ran a couple of those with him. And during the last one that we ran, I popped a fresh flask. And that flask lasted me through the end of our Sunday raid. so I popped a flask on Thursday and it was still there Sunday night at the end of raid. So yeah, basically I've only been popping into Wrath if someone wants me for a dungeon or I've got raid. I haven't
Ooh,
touched
and
it since.
We should probably talk about that because people do care about the Varg raids, and I'm pretty sure Yip's gonna come back for ICC Prague talks just like he did before. So that's coming. So look forward to that. But yeah, so the weekend raid, you've been hearing us forever talk about roster boss and like constantly replacing people and giving them gear and then they're gone. And it's been horrible, right? Well, in the last like month, that team, like Josh is on the weekend raid team and that team has come together, dude. What did we do it in 35 minutes? We went 50 of 50.
It was quick.
It was nuts.
Barely over half a flask. But we did, like, what did we do? We did 49 out of 50 one week. Then we did 48 the next week. And now we've had 350 out of 50 in a row, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 2? It's 2 or 3 anyways, but it feels like we're rolling. Like the last 2 weeks at least.
Yeah.
It's felt like we've really rolled through it. Like a noob is completely clicked for us. Like it doesn't feel sketchy like it did 2 months ago. Like it feels like we've got it now. So
I mean, it might help that we've gotten 5 or 6 death verdicts in that raid too. But like,
yeah,
that
I got
raid
my
was
death.
also.
I love that trinket so much.
Well, that raid
And
was
I'm up
so
over
far
like
behind.
5,600 gear score now too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, my rogue's the only one over 56, but my druid's up to like 55-50 now, and he's pumping. But it was so rough for that raid because like literally dealt with the roster boss all through Ulduar. Like, I don't even know if we killed Algalon even once in that one. Like, it was such a struggle bus with 22 people every week. And like, sometimes we bring in some pugs, but like, we weren't going to try Algalon Prague in that raid, even though 10 of the people in that raid are alts from the main raid who had killed Algalon months prior, right? Like, it's just, the gear matters. And then when we went into TOC, like, we were a good, like, I think our main raid was like 220 something gear score average, and the weekend raid was like 209 average or something like that. Like, it was rough, but like, we've really found a good stride on the weekend raid, and it feels really cool.
Well, what we were getting though is from the start we were doing 4 out of 5 heroic, so we were getting that good loot, and we were getting lucky on the key pieces as well. Like you said, we got 5 or 6 death verdict, and we were getting some of the other needed pieces as well. Some of the a lot of tank loot. And I think we as a raid geared up a lot doing those 4 out of 5, and then finally broke through that wall with a noob. And now it's all just gravy until ICC, and then we can struggle again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess. Okay, I take that back. My Warriors tank set is over 56 too. So
A lot of tank stuff has dropped on that weekend raid.
yeah, that's been like that, dude. A noob off tanking a noob is like so challenging and fun. Like, especially as a warrior. Like, I know Paladin, it's easy mode, right? But like we've got it down. Like, Josh is a freaking is a freaking monster now. Like, I don't have to call for freedom at all. When I'm coming back with the ads, he fucking like, it's just there. Like, I have fucking
I'm your freedom bot.
freedom on, and Josh is still like number 3 on the DPS at the end of the fight. Like, but he's like, I don't have to call for it. There's no comms wasted. Like, I just get in there. Like, it's been super cool. I've been really enjoying that.
I was number 1 the 1 week on a noob.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, well, do you have anything else?
Do I have anything else?
Are you guys going to
Sorry,
do
I was
any
waving at
ICC
someone.
PTR?
Yes.
We did some a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that whenever we got to the news for ICC, if you guys want to do that.
Talk about it.
All right, I'll just go through real quick my Wrath thing. Feral Druid's been awesome. I've just basically been logging in just to raid because I've been playing all hardcore or Baldur's Gate. And I've loved logging into raid. Like, I'm sorry, like I feel like everything turns into raid log, even vanilla, like at the end of vanilla during AQ and Nax, I was raid logging every time. Like, unless I went to farm something specific or went to get my world buffs. So like, I feel like that's just the name of the game towards the like last half of any expansion. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And so I've been enjoying doing that. And yeah, like I've been just enjoying TOGC. It's been fun to like really like play a bunch of raids. And like, I never thought I would say I would enjoy TOGC because I hated it back in the day, but I've been enjoying it a lot. So yeah, that's basically all I've been doing.
Raid.
Yeah, and that's basically where I'm at. All right, let's move into time for the news. All right, so real quick here. So last week, Go, Scotty J, and Table talked about this, but I want to talk about it. So we all know random dungeon fighters going into the game, but with the new Defense Protocol Gamma dungeons, they're introducing another new currency besides Sidereal, and this is going to drop. One of them's going to drop off every boss, which I think is a huge thing. Like, as opposed to what we had to do for Sidereal, like where like groups hate, like people try to gear up like a new like fresh 80 hated like you guys skipping like, but we wanted to skip. Like we needed to run as many dungeons as possible, and this looks to be a like much cooler way to do it. And I was trying to find, like, I've heard so many different things, but I couldn't find it actually in Blue Post or in like anything. But like from what I understand, you're going to be able to use this currency to buy the 245 gear that's from normal TOGC, which I think is really cool because we can't run normal if we run heroic, and everybody's running heroic. I don't know anybody who's running a normal. They're probably out there,
People
but
who can't kill heroics.
yeah, but like I feel like anybody can kill the first 4 heroics with just a little bit of work, but maybe pugs and stuff. I don't know.
There's a lot of like low end GDKPs that are just doing normal runs.
Well,
and still charging way too much for the normal gear.
Yep, and gray parses don't get a cut, so nobody parses over gray, so that just
so if you want to spend a bunch of gold on average gear and not get a cut, then that's the thing for you.
Well, if this is the case, like I feel like it'll be really cool to be able to get like a 245 version of Death's Verdict if you weren't able to get it like in TOGC.
Which is still a really good trinket. Like it's barely worse. But what I heard, aren't they doing it so the what is the essence called? I don't remember what the essence is called, but whatever essence is dropping, that'll buy you the 245 gear, but aren't the bosses dropping a TOGC 10 gear? The hard mode? Or
I believe. I think they.
Or is it the normal mode?
I think it's. I don't know. See, that's like I
know
was
they're
trying to
dropping
look
one of
over
those
this
because like you know how now when you run the dungeons, the betas they'll have
it's
the
called
normal epics,
Defiler Sword Stones.
And then they'll have one Alduar 10 hard mode drop. I think they're doing that with TOGC. Aren't they doing one TOGC heroic drop per dungeon or per boss? I'm not sure which. That's what I heard. I don't know.
I don't know.
It says the currency may be used to purchase item level 245 TOC 25 player raid.
That's
rewards.
the currency, but I'm talking about the actual boss drops. Like you get the currency, but you also get drops off the bosses. So there's catch-up gear from them as well.
I think it's 232 gear. Like I think it's 232 gear from normal 10 man.
Is the 232 the normal or the hard for 10 man?
Normal.
It's normal. Okay.
Yeah, hard is
Thought it would drop
245
hard
gear.
mode.
See, I thought it was going to drop the heroic mode, but because that's what they did with Alduar.
Yeah, but like
Bosses dropped the
Ulduar,
hard mode.
but like it's different because like
Is it?
you because Ulduar they did you drop the 224 gear, like 225 gear, but to jump up to 245 gear in the dungeons, I don't know. That sounds a little crazy, but I don't actually completely understand with all the information they have out now. I guess like I think. No Hit Jerome's video, I think he went on and looked at it all on the actual PTR because I don't think they've actually said everything. So all of the stuff that No Hit Jerome said would be subject to change.
All I know is I'm going to be farming them for Primordial Serenite. I'm farming
that part is huge. Yeah, that part is huge with I think 14 of them. So 14 bosses total in any of the Gamma dungeons. You can buy one of those, which is going to bring the cost of Primordial Serenite way down and make it a lot easier for a lot more people to get their legendary axe.
Yeah, because that was one of the grindier parts of that quest line, right? Getting all that Serenite. So.
Well, and you had to have your guild like hand it to you, whereas like now you could get it yourself, just like really overworking yourself.
So they said that there's an Argent tournament specific to your faction that will be present to offer additional buffs to assist them in the dungeon. It's like, please experiment with these powerful abilities. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. There's going to be a lot to talk about once we try these out, but I don't really want to stick on it. Huh?
You're going to farm a million fucking things for one item. It's going to be shit and everyone's going to hate it and everyone's going to complain about it. But guess what? Everyone's still going to do it.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I want that shadow.
If they drop one per boss, it's not that bad.
I farmed for Sidereal Essence. I farmed 2 rune stones, 2 dark matters, 1 245 weapon, which is fuck my life. Like, yeah, I did way too many of these stupid dungeons.
I just won't farm it. I'll just fucking go without it until I get
same.
whatever. I just have the patience. I don't care enough to get it.
Everything I farmed with the Sidereal Essence, I upgraded the next week in raid.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that all how it goes?
Super broke. Like my warrior doesn't have a death choice. I might fuck around farm that. Plus it'd be fun because warrior is a lot of fun to me. I don't mind, one per boss, blowing that out for a couple days for some content. Other than that, no shot I have it all and sit there and every day do world tours for a week and a half straight to
but
some item in a game when I could be doing something else.
So supposedly, like the prices on these things are like 19, but you get
something. I
thought they were like 19 for a lot of the stuff.
Like
I feel like they're going to be more expensive.
Or something.
Well,
Yeah, the Death's Choice is the main one. That's 36 or something, right?
Is it? Okay, I'm not sure. But either way, if it's 4 to 5 bosses a dungeon, that's a big difference. Like, because now you're getting
one.
Yeah, like, so you're not having to fly. Like, that was the biggest pain in the ass, is like going to all the different dungeons and then skipping. Like, whereas you could just go in, bust out the whole dungeon. And you're like, oh, that feels good. I got 4. Oh, that feels good. I got 5.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
yeah, seeing that number tick up 1 per dungeon was painful.
It was so
especially
painful.
if you're going for one of the like things that cost
because
like
it legit took you
$39.
like 6-7 hours to do all the dungeons or
Yeah,
some
it
shit.
was
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Like an actual work day of doing
Yeah, and
shitty
I mean,
dungeons.
it was amazing if you ran with 5 people that you knew, like 5 people from your guild. Like
It still wasn't amazing.
It was
It wasn't as
amazing
bad.
compared
It was
to
better.
running
It was
with.
better.
Yeah,
It's
like
true. Mega Man says it's RDF, so you don't have to travel to the dungeon. You can just instantly teleport.
true,
That's
true,
big.
big true. And like I'll be more willing to do it, like just jump in with pugs like during the day. Whereas like before, like I remember when we'd get a good group of like the guild and everything, and we're just all like fucking like, you know, like well over 5K gear score, and we're just pounding through. I was like, well, I was gonna get off, but nope, I'm down to do 7 more dungeons if you guys are. Like, just because like
damn.
you just don't get those opportunities. Like, so you're like, fuck it, I'm going.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's cool. I would have loved RDF and stuff to come out like when I was
year ago?
doing the sidereal.
And like next phase would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, just like when TOGC came out would have been really nice. Like, but yeah, so that's the news from last week that I just kind of wanted to cover because I thought that was cool. And then the last is just like, IACC testing starts today. This is Friday. If you're listening to this, you're probably listening to it on Tuesday or Monday night, Tuesday morning or Monday night, depending on if you check it out on YouTube or on audio. And it's going to be running through Tuesday night. So, so anybody want to talk about any like testing they've done in PTR, like, or talk about the new quest tracker, like, which I feel is coming in really late.
I want to
You're
know
gonna
from
be-
Crix, how was it with hardcore being in full swing in the
I was
ICC
about to say,
PTR
you're
coming
gonna
out?
be disappointed because I know life every PTR every time. I haven't touched it because it came
You
out a
didn't
week.
touch it?
It came out a week after hardcore, and I was going for Word First Warlock, all the raids and stuff, and I had the big decision to make. And I was like,
I was wondering what you'd do.
Like a base of my viewership, a chunk of it comes from PTRs. It's like where I have my biggest streams, and the only time I ever reach over thousands of followers. Viewers. So I was like, I have hardcore, and then I can do this PTR. But I was so invested in the hardcore, and I was level like 45 or something when it came out, and I'm speeding, and I felt like I was attached to it. And like, what do I do for the people that I met that have been just watching this character go up? So I was like, you know what? Fuck this PTR session. I've done a lot of ICC on private servers, so I don't need to learn the raid, so I already know it. And it was kind of like, I'm gonna choose hardcore this time, and I'm so glad I did. I'm having so much fun. And PTR, they're my guild's in there right now doing it.
Are they?
Yeah, and then I just kind of, I don't know, the drive to do it is not there like it usually is. I don't know, because I've done ICC a lot versus I didn't do that many TOGC or Old War before PTR. Those are some of my first times. And I don't know, I'm kind of like, to be honest, burnt out of Wrath. I'm just ready to get out of Wrath.
Usually PTR comes out and it's a really slow time in the game, right? And so it's more exciting to go do PTR, but with hardcore coming out at the same time.
I don't know what they thought, right? That they're dumbass. Well, I don't know why they thought that it was going to be like, yeah, let's just do it a week after. No, and I know the crossover for Lich King Classic is not huge, especially Classic, hardcore, and PTRing a raid. That's like a very small like percentage of people that do it, but I was just in that small percentage, man, and it sucked.
Because, there's a lot of. I feel like a lot of the. You're muted, Bob.
Oh.
Dude, I just felt bad for Jordy. Like Jordy had to be like, "Fuck you." Like,
yeah, me and Jordy
I wanted to do the fucking hardcore stuff, and now you're fucking me because I'm the guide guy.
I was watching a stream of Jordy doing PTR, and he was just like.
Yeah, Jordy and I both, we even talked about it. We had the same decision to make, and I was like, I made sure he was cool with it because we're in the same guilds. Like, yo, he's like, nah, don't even worry about it, bro. He's like, go get the hardcore shit. I was like, all right. Yeah. I told Baron, I told the GM, like even last night, I was like, hey, I'm doing hardcore stuff, but if something happens and you like red alert, we need a warlock. Like, there's no more. Like, then let me know and I'll come over. I'll get on. But
yeah,
this hardcore is just a different world right now. We'll get there when we talk about it, but it's just different feels, man.
Crazy.
We're gonna be in ICC for the next 10 months or whatever the fuck it is. So it's the longest phase. It's the last of the expansion. Oh, and then we have Ruby Sanctum, which no one's gonna give a fuck about. So we're still running ICC. Still gonna be running ICC over and over again. So it's like, all the way into Kata. So it's like I'm okay missing it. I've never
Yeah.
been
For
one
sure.
to like do like the Twitch meta, and like I care about my viewers, like who's watching, but I've never been like a numbers guy. I just do whatever I want, listen to music, and just play games.
I'm the
And,
same.
like, yeah, you know what I mean. And I know that I could be doing it different and be bigger if I was, but I just don't care. I just want to have a good time. I don't want to be miserable doing 10 hours of progging PTR
Yeah.
for 10 hours a day for 4 days straight, like they did, and
So-
just miserable. Like you go watch any of them, pummel any of them, they're just fucking miserable looking. They look like they hate
Oh,
their
yeah.
lives.
They
You're
do.
laughing my ass off playing hardcore. Like it was like way better. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Even right now, you go look. I'm looking at Pummel right now. He looks miserable. They're wiping the bosses. Alando wiping the bosses. Everyone's just wiping to this boss, trying to be like, I want to be the first person on this PTR to do this boss. Like it's like,
dude,
you know.
it's so funny because like we've been playing Baldur's Gate, and every once in a while we'll like switch over at the end of the stream and like play Baldur's Gate, and like, you know, I'm much smaller than you, but it'll be like a bigger night where I'll have like 55 people, and we switch to Baldur's Gate. Within 20 minutes, we're down to about 13, 14.
That happens every time. Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm just like, I'm bummed that I don't
About
get to raid
enjoying it,
some.
bro.
I
You
don't get to
gotta
raid
enjoy your
somebody,
shit.
right? But
Yeah.
like,
You're not going to be
enjoy it.
a good streamer if you hate what you're doing, right?
Ex-
Like occasionally,
exactly.
like that's fine, but you're going to resent it at that point, and you're not going to
Mhm.
want
Exactly.
to do it, and that's not worth it.
well, that's why everybody
Exactly.
says like, oh, well, Bob, you're going to play Kata to keep the podcast going. I don't know. Like, if Kata sucks and I don't like Kata, like, I won't do the podcast because the podcast would suck at that point.
I think people are gonna like Kata.
Cat is
I
going to
think
be.
I think
people are
they are
gonna.
too.
I think people are gonna like it way more than they remember.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people are
I'm
growing
coming in
up,
with a
getting
more
married, having
open mind.
kids,
That's what I
getting
said. It
in
was like life.
college.
It was
And
life
was
changes.
punching everybody in the mouth back when Kata came out, and then they changed it a little bit, and everyone's like, I fucking hate it. But even on
Yeah.
my I do private servers and I stream it on Kick, and I've seen people come in there like, damn, I don't remember this from Kata, or man, this actually does look pretty good, or wow, Firelands looks dope, or they just go through these different things that looks really cool. So
Yeah, I've said that so many times. I think a lot of us quit Kata because of life changes. And
Yeah,
then
most of that.
looking back,
like
have
a
kind
year
of
and a
jumped
half
on the
ago.
bandwagon of Kata was awful,
now we're
and
all
we
settled.
all left because of it, right?
yeah. We're
Like,
all
they
adults
didn't.
now and have time to play games. So it's like,
Yeah.
See, I
I was
remember
starting
liking
grad
Cat.
school, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Like,
I would really like, what I do want to do in Kata, and I will for sure do it, is I want to work up somebody from one. Like, I played through the Goblin starting zone, but that's it. And then I like turned one of like the other characters we had into a Goblin. Like,
I hate the Goblin starting zone so much.
I just want to like, well, now I'm going to play the werewolf starting
Warriors?
zone. Yeah. But like,
mm,
I want to go through all the quests because they changed all the quests, and I never experienced that. I never gave it a chance. Like, I only worked up my min-max dude, and back in the day, like, to be the ones on the server killing the main bosses, like, there was very few guilds doing it on each server, and like, you were just spending 8 hours, 5 days a week, like, doing prog. Like, you weren't playing the game ever. So I am excited to like play the game through and see what they did with the changes in the world. Like, that part is
the
kind of
raiding
exciting.
community will like it more than they think they will because it's going to introduce. It is rough. It's much harder than Lich King. It's 10 times harder than the Lich King raids are right now, or heroics and stuff. And so I think that hardcore raiding scene is going to enjoy it much more. You need a speedrunning scene too, because you can still speedrun because it's going to be harder to speedrun because the bosses
Right.
are so hard. They're not like ridiculously hard by any means, but they're like, Firelands, Blizz-like servers wiping over and over and over and over and over again. Besides those like niche, I've been on playing Kata private servers for 10 years type shit. Those guys aren't there. It was for Lich King because Lich King was so popular. TBC was so popular that
Right.
people were playing these private servers for years. Now you got people playing Kata for a couple years. No one's like, yeah, there's the random people doing it, but no one's really like no-lifing Kata servers for a decade. Like, you know what I mean?
right. I just pulled up Pummel's stream. It does look so miserable.
Oh, miserable. You see what I mean, bro? And they're doing it. Why?
See?
For the views.
And he could have come on the podcast and had a good ass time. Yeah, see, so yeah, like, you need to run with a couple of Pubbles so we can raid together. Like,
I
just like
go
run
to
some
of his
GD
TDP
games.
sometimes, but
Yeah, I'm in a
I like
lot of
doing
them
it
every
over
week.
rather than carrying because it's a good payout, and I can run some myself. Like I could just ping the Discord and be like, all right, run a one.
I don't know. I think what I love about Enigma is like they're just fair. Like they're not trying to scam you. And I don't know. I've never been in an Imagine Caring one, so I don't know anything about them. But like, I've been in a lot of crappy GDKPs, and like, I just stick with Enigma now, like because like they're just cool. They're just decent. I don't know how to explain it besides that. All right, well, I think that's it for the PTR testing. Let's move on to
Bobby, we need to have a talk about this World of Warcraft Classic. Do I look like I know what a WoW token is?
All right. So this week's discussion is all about hardcore, Josh. You are now allowed to talk about hardcore. Everybody, Crix, Mel, you're allowed to talk about hardcore. What do you want to talk about?
Head Mel.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't really been doing much.
I'll let you guys go first because
Yeah. So let's see. I can start. I am still on my first priest. I'm level 30. I've been through 2 of Bob's druids. Or
Nope,
no, a warrior,
one,
a druid, and now another warrior.
No,
Two
two
warriors and a
warriors,
druid,
one
right?
druid. I died at 12, 22 on the 2 warriors, then at 27 on the druid. Then I just worked up solo warrior, and I just got back to 29. Solo
many
for the
Bob.
most part, but yeah, just got back to 29 now. So now
Yeah, so
I'm
I
caught
told
back
Bob
up to
that
Mel.
him dying is really starting to hurt my reputation as his healer, and I feel like he needs to stop doing that so that I can, let people know that I actually will heal and not just run away from him.
Well, I tell you to run though.
Just
Like
kidding.
the last
It's
one,
a
I don't
bad
think
look that as a healer, your duo partner died 3 times, okay? It's a bad look on me as a healer. I'm just saying.
we didn't talk about the level 27 druid. So level 27 druid, I had swiftest pots, everything. We were doing the Lakeshire Red Ridge elite quest. We had just killed all the bosses upstairs. We were heading out, and we had a hyper spawn happen. And Mel was like, "Oh God, Bob, look!" And I looked back, and I was like, "Mel, run!" And then
Wait, there was like 5 of them attacking me. I really had no choice.
well, there was like
I had
12.
to run, or they were gonna like.
Yeah, there was like
but
12
5 of them were on
us.
me because I healed the mage that they targeted the mage because the mage was lagging behind,
The mage was
and
the
they
one who
targeted
butt
the mage,
pulled.
and I healed the mage, and so like 6 of them came and attacked me, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go, and
But
then Bob
you
was
didn't
like,
go though. Like I told you, like Mel,
I
run,
mean, I
run,
started
run.
running.
And then
Yeah, I
I
know.
started to run with you, and I looked back at this little gnome mage, and I was like, and like you could see it. You could see it in the clip. I like turned back, and I go back, and I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do to help them. And I was like, fuck it, I gotta go. And I thought about typing /run, but like the mage blinked, and I was like, oh shit, now it's just me. And I was like, started running, and then I was just getting hit, and like I got dazed. I drank a healing pot instead of the swift pot. Like it was just so bad, and like I should have just ran and left that random mage to fend for himself because he's the one that butt pulled in the first place.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, I died. So yeah, I worked up another warrior, and yeah, I did have a whole bunch of banked gold saved, so I had a weapon every 3 levels to upgrade. I'm telling you what, guys, on the warrior, like if you have a weapon that's like good constantly, it's a completely different experience than like solo
It helps,
self-found
yeah, it
warrior. It doesn't help. It changes it. It's like literally a different game. Like it's absurd and gross, like how good that is. And like I was like, I've just been having a blast working it back up because I'm just like rolling through shit. Whereas before it'd be like, kill a Bob. Oh, I'm at a 3rd life. All right, sit, eat. All right, kill a Bob at a 3rd life, sit, eat. Now I'm like, wham, 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 just like killing mobs right and left. Like it's amazing how much easier non-solo self-found is. Like, and I've been loving it. So I mean, it's like It's been neat to catch up that way.
Very against, as an old school hardcore player, I was very against trading. I was very against auction house and grouping and stuff. And then launch happened. I love it. I fucking love it. I'm not even really benefiting too much. When I was leveling, I was like one of the first people in the world done. So I wasn't really benefiting too much of getting the groups or like the auction house stuff, because there was nothing on the auction house. But it was a lot of, okay, I found this leather piece, I can give it to a guildie, or I can just walk up to a random dude in the middle of the tram and give him this or whatever. That was like really cool. Mm-hmm. And then like being able to like having to go heavy profession based on hardcore, being able to buy some Troll's Blood potion or something like that. It was so dope. You know, grouping up to do the fucking Silithus bugs or something like that at the end. It was just a lot of fun. And like,
dude, grouping up just to do kill quests.
Yeah, it makes it so much faster, like exponentially faster.
Like, think about that stupid quest in like when you first get into Ashenvale, the Tower of blah blah blah.
The heads.
Okay, no, the part where you have to get that one random item drop.
Oh, the gem.
The gem. But whatever. It's a shared drop. Yeah. So you just group up with 5 people and like it's so beautiful. Everything. Yeah. And there's so many
drops are shared, but only when it's like the one drop item quest. If you go get like the other ones, it's never shared.
Yeah. Like I don't group up for those, but any kill quest, group up. Yeah, like group up is great. Like you kill it faster, but like it does kind of suck. There are a lot of like, I tried to like get people. I remember like multiple characters now. I've like done that gem quest and everybody groups up because they know what's up. They know it's a shared drop.
Yeah.
But I had 4 people there killing mobs and I'm trying to invite all of them. None of them are in a group. I keep sending them tells, dude, you know, this is a shared drop. This is dumb to do it by ourselves. Like, I'm like, are you solo self-found? They're like, no, you're wrong. I'm not gonna get your drop for you. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God, you just like that part's frustrating. Just the fact that there's like a lot of people that are less educated about like all these different things that we've learned over the years of playing hardcore, but like it's been beautiful.
Learn to trust Bob.
Well, no, it's a bad idea.
Like, I'm just like, I want to be like, dude, check out my credentials. I do Warcraft Reloaded. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying, but I don't do that because that would be lame. But like, it's still like annoying as shit. Like, it's like, but yeah, grouping up for the kill quest is amazing. It makes everybody less stressed. You're not fighting so hard for tags. Like, it just makes the whole game flow better. Like,
if you manage to get past the early 20s, it actually does get better for those because it's not as crowded. You just got to
I'd say the majority
once you're
of
in the
players
30s,
are
it's
in the
very
20s,
better.
Right? Or before 20.
No, in the teens. Yeah, the majority of players are in the teens.
Because like I've been doing solo self-found the whole way, and for most of it, I haven't had that big of an issue because I've been just far enough ahead of the main pack that I'm not running into a whole lot of competition for kills. So it's been super relaxed.
You didn't play hardcore before, did you, Josh? This is your first hardcore?
I played it briefly.
This is his first real try. Yeah.
But I got distracted with other things and gave up. But
yeah,
I'm determined. I wanted to get at least one character to 60 solo self-found.
Yeah, he never played past like the teens, I think. You always like stopped
I made it
at
to
the
almost
teens.
30. I made it to almost 30.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that before. But yeah, Josh is 44, 45 now, right?
45. I got 45 this morning.
Nice.
But there's one thing that I've found super disappointing about hardcore. So like I went into hardcore thinking
audio texture.
So I started hardcore and I'm thinking this will be great. Like I either stream, and when I'm not streaming, I'm recording like every second that I'm playing, right? Because I'm like, every time I die, I'm going to make like a death clip video and put it up on my YouTube. But like, it's super hard to die. Like I haven't been able to make any death clip videos because I just keep surviving stuff. It's
you almost had one today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were down to what? 3% today?
Oh, that was on
your mage. Yeah.
That was on my mage that I made just to group with you guys. But I survived, didn't I? I got down below 5% 2 or 3 times. Like, I know when to run. I wait till the last second, then I go.
I remember you go.
Good.
You go. I think I actually made a mistake here. I actually need help. And we're like, oh, okay.
As I'm strafe running and popping frost bolts to keep it off me. Somebody shoot this thing. There was 3 of them though, so.
Oh yeah.
It got iffy. That doesn't count though. I'm talking about my paladin when I'm running around and just nothing bad happens. You run around relaxed and just killing stuff, finishing quests.
Well, and then another like fun thing. I'm sorry. I've taken advantage, but Josh ran us through Dead Mines and
Twice.
Yeah,
on 2 different characters because you keep dying.
Yep. And he was like 30, like early 30s or mid 30s or something the first time. It was easy as pie. Then we went through and he was like 43. And we went through with a group of 5. And it's like, shout out to Smolder and, Nye, I don't know how to say your full name. Nihilista. Shout out to them. They come with us a lot, and we're just going and just watching Josh go, and we're just like hamstringing everything and just making sure shit like doesn't run right. And Josh is just destroying shit. We're just getting gear and killing the quests, and we're just like,
the funnest part about those runs
but like it is kind of exciting.
Because I'll run ahead and pull a pack, and he'll be like, "Careful, careful, careful." I'll be like, no, he's like 20 levels lower than me. What are you talking about?
Telling our other red pallies, like, could you put on your ink gear just in case? And I'm like, you really don't think that I can heal when we've got a level 44 in here? Like, you're really worried about my healing ability? Like, get out of here.
Hey man, you never know. You never know.
They gotta hit me first. I mean, what are you nervous about?
Oh man. God. But yeah, that part's been fun. It's just like, like working up the different tunes.
It's like the death log, the add-on death log that trolls everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's good add-on, but sometimes it'll be like, the on week 1 or day 2, it said a goblin paladin died from Sapphiron in Dunmorrow or some shit. I was like,
you're like, yeah.
There's an ad there. It tells you the. Trying to find it.
Dude, what was your level 1 death yesterday? I was grinding in wetlands.
I was level 4, and it was just like I was trying to kill time waiting for a Skolo group, so I just like started level.
I swore it was level 1,
and I just got it was.
You weren't happy with it, were you?
I was just in like the Dunmorrow cave and just like jumped down and just pulled like everything. I was like, oh, so good.
But yeah, what I figured out with those troll deaths.
I was thinking about my landlord.
Like the level 87 stuff, like if you ignore them, like if you put them on the ignore list, I think it ignores the account because I stopped getting them after I ignored the couple of people that were doing them, and I just stopped seeing them.
See, I just turned it.
I got one. I was mid ZG the other day on my warlock, and a death alert went out saying that I died, and I didn't know that. And so my chat got spammed in game and on Twitch, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like,
that's the one I'm talking about. Did you just come into my
chat and see me alive in ZG and see that I'm not dead? Okay. And say sorry, you're dead.
Sorry.
Okay, that's the one I'm talking about, Crix. It was a level 1, like it joined the guild too. Like I don't know who it was. It wasn't you. Then
it was like a level 3 or 4.
Yeah, I died at like a 3 or 4 yesterday. Like I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then that
was it.
You. Yeah, okay.
Just me being a bum and pulling everything. I had to get my death out of the way. Yo, here's that.
Hey, Crix,
though. I put in our chat right here. That's like the death statistics for. This was 2 days ago, though.
You should like. I turned it to like only tell me level 20 deaths or
now
higher.
I only show it 60 because that's all I care about. I don't care about level 20 dying.
Here's the death stats, guys. Oh, this is actually really cool. The way this works, it just shows.
Wait, is this just warlocks?
No, it's everybody. It's highlighted blue because that's what I was selecting because I'm a warlock.
Whoa.
I thought it was really interesting.
You got really quiet, Crix.
Oh, my mic's fucked up. Sorry, my mic's broken, and I don't have $400 to buy a new one.
Oh no, dude! You should check out the pod mic. It's $100. This
I am sure SM7B all the way till I die.
So what? Okay, so how do I read this?
So look at Warrior, for example. It tells you that there has been. This is also, I think, only people with the add-on. I'm not sure because I know there's been more than. That probably is like a rough, like what? I don't know how many people can't do math, but you get it. Almost 100,000 players, so that's just with the add-on. But there is roughly, almost 19,000 warriors that have died totally, which is almost 19% of all players. Their average death level is, 13.6. The right side is the probability of reaching that milestone. So the 60% chance warriors make it this 10, 17 to 20, 5%, and then a 0.2% chance warriors make it to 60. Now, what I thought was interesting was look at the warlock and the rogue.
Yeah, 0.13.
Dude, rogue is coming from someone who's already made it to 60 on a rogue.
And shaman.
The easiest and safest classes.
Dude, no, it is. Dude, I think the only hard classes, and I've said this for weeks now, I think the only hard classes in hardcore is warrior and rogue.
Shaman.
And I didn't even know
You're
shaman.
just trying to hype up your.
I didn't even know
so
shaman.
Easy.
Rogue,
it's actually mind-boggling.
Rogue is not easy. It is. You have a 20. You have a 24%.
I 3-shot a rogue. Never played melee in my entire life. 3-shot a rogue.
You have.
I died on 8 warlocks. I died on 9 mages. I died on 10 hunters. 3-shot a rogue.
Dude.
Sub rogue. Prep to blade furry.
Yes, but we played smart.
Poof, I'm out.
We played, yeah, but what if you have a dot? What if you have a bleed? What if you have a poison?
You're a dwarf.
Oh, well,
Otherwise you're trolling.
I don't play dwarf.
Yeah, you're trolling then.
I play a human just because I'm cool.
You're giga trolling. Why would you go human rogue in hardcore?
Listen,
That's all I've ever played.
I
got to 60.
I know it's best for like in-game rating and stuff, but like
I got to.
Do you go rogue and you go dwarf, or you go
what
gnome
I'm
for
telling
escape
you,
artist, improved sprint is escape artist.
Maces.
You don't even need escape artist.
Okay, so basically, it's old. Like I think it's like the best because like with the 24% chance to miss, you have to have swords or maces. Period. Like, or else you're just going to be missing constantly.
Who cares if you miss every now and then? It's hardcore. Take your time.
It's
unless you miss a gouge and then you're going to bandage and you die during that gouge, but you should never be in that situation in the first place. You should never be in a situation where like I have to gouge or I'm going to die. Like, you know what I mean? You have vanish.
I guess
Ghostly strike.
You're right. You're like stone form is definitely more powerful and better.
Warrior and shaman are by far the 2 hardest classes.
See,
objectively.
I didn't even think about shaman because like I just never played hardcore horde, so I didn't even factor that in. But like I really think warrior and freaking rogue are the 2 hardest because everybody else just has so much more. And I think you're crazy.
Easy, and it's even easier with the auction house, bro. I had to do it with no weapons.
Dude, same.
I hit 60 with trip dungarees on. So what was so scary?
I remember when we didn't know each other. Okay, so I remember when we didn't know each other well, and you showed up in my stream, and you're like, "Bro, use this spec," and I was like, "Hey, that's what I'm doing now." Like I think a lot of people don't do the sub spec. They do.
They attach it onto it.
They do combat and stuff.
Combat is more deadly because you're just like, I'm gonna kill you before you kill me type shit.
Yep.
But sub is like.
Sub is like
your opener is half their health or a bleed or a stun, and then your ghost is second.
If it's high armor, you garrote to open. If they're not high armor, you assassination.
My mind is baffled. I can't believe you said that. What is hard about a rogue leveling? What do you think was hard?
If you don't have your cooldowns, you are literally ass. You are like completely fucked.
Which cooldowns?
Vanish, evasion, sprint.
But you have 2 of them.
Well, yeah.
Why are
if
you
you play
yourself
sub
in a situation that you have to use 2 sprints, 2 vanishes, and 2.
You also play like a pussy, just like me.
Yeah.
And when you use them, you log out for 5 minutes in stealth.
No, I never had to do that because I had prep. There was one time when everything. I was trying to do an elite quest. It was that one in Searing Gorge where you had to there's 3 guys and you had to get the paper behind them. You know what I'm talking about? And there was 3 elites. I'd sap one, blind one, gouge one.
Guy.
Yeah. I would sap one, blind one, gouge one, and try to get the paper. But I got a heartbeat resist on the blind, had a blow prep, and I did it again. Fucking heartbeat again, and I almost died. It was the closest I was to dying.
Do you remember when you came in on me? Do you remember where I was when you came in on me? I'm trying to remember where it was. I was in a place where you have to collect. It's in this big ass deep cave where you have to collect 3 different things from night elves. I'm trying to think of where it was.
What level range?
I don't remember. Fuck. I don't remember. I feel like it was
the worst part about Rogue is Searing Gorge, because everything is elemental. Nothing can be poisoned. Nothing can be stunned. Nothing can be sapped. Nothing can be blind. It's like you're just straight guttural weapon on weapon.
No, but this was like one of those, like, okay, so you think about like the Night Elf starting zone, and there's that in like the middle, there's that one cave that's in a tree. It's like that build of
was it like
cave
Fellwood type shit?
It might have been. I think it might have been in. It wasn't. Was it in Feralus? It was in Feralus. So it was like the 40s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You came in right as I almost died, vanished, and I was like hiding, like up against the wall, like in stealth. I was like, and you're like, bro, log out, bro, log out. And this was like I don't even think you may have come on the show once prior to that or whatever, but like we barely knew each other. I was like, yeah, you're right, log out. Okay. But I think it's hard just because of the chance to miss. I think that's the only thing. So I have a plan for my next rogue. I'm going to do the same build, but I'm not going dual wield.
What do you do?
I'm just gonna wheel. I'm gonna do dagger to do us.
You just gonna one hand
assault, and then I'm gonna do one-handed sword or mace.
Why would you do that?
Because then I have 8% chance to hit with white hits, or 8% chance to miss with white hits. Well, and with my thing, I'd have
hit anything at all.
But yeah, but what does that do? I mean, poisons,
even if you hit
it would be
one
better.
Time with your offhand, it's more damage than not hitting with your
poisons is the thing I didn't think about. Yeah, poisons is the thing I didn't think about.
That's not how that works. If you have an offhand,
it is how it works.
It's not lowering your main hand chance to hit.
Yes, Your both main hand and offhand white hits have a 24% chance to miss. Only
your main hand
yellow
has
hits.
A higher chance to hit if you're using an offhand.
Yes, if you trade dual wielding and
you're gonna play a rogue and you're not gonna use an offhand the whole time.
And I might even work up
hit more on your main hand.
I might even work up assassination.
It sounds like a horrible plan.
Yeah.
Is it an achievement? Are you trying to get an achievement?
No, it's just like
be an achievement though. If you think about it, a rogue with one.
I honestly think it might be easier, at least until like the 40s. Like I honestly think it might. How
much trouble did you have missing when you? I mean, I missed, of course, but I was sub, so I missed more than a combat, but it didn't bug me that much. Like
I missed 20% of the time.
Yeah, but you like never fall under half health as a rogue. It feels like you're opening with
Ghostly Strike
or whatever, and then Ghostly Strike,
huge.
and you're not even getting hit for like 8 seconds.
So we had done a similar spec in that, and when you came in, you told me about Ghostly Strike, and I had slept on it. And when I did get Ghostly Strike, it definitely made it a lot easier.
7% dodge for 10 seconds on your opener. Well, I guess you would
do more than that. Isn't it like 15%? No,
is it 15%?
I think it's 15%.
It might be 15 for 7 seconds. I have it backwards.
Yeah.
I think I have it backwards, which is even better. Yeah, it's 15 for 7 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. Your opener, you do your little whatever I like ambush or whatever the enemy lets you do. Like if it's a humanoid, obviously ambush. If it's like a turtle, you're not going to ambush,
It just depends on armor. If it's high armor, Garrote. If it's not,
and then you Ghostly Strike and you're like barely getting hit.
Yeah.
And then you just
that was better.
Do your shit, slice it and go on it. Like it's like the only time I ever got in trouble was like I don't know. I have like 50 plus runs on hardcore. I have so many of all these different classes. And even over Warlock, all the class I played, I've never felt safer than my first rogue ever. That made it to like 30.
See, I feel like
never played melee a drop in my life. Never played a melee character, a rogue, anything at all.
I feel like the warrior, I feel like the warlock is so easy compared to like
Warlock is harder than rogue, but barely. I feel like Warlock's easy too, but I think I'm biased because I know how to play Warlock.
Close to harder than rogue.
That's like mind blowing to me. What's the highest Warlock you've had actually?
Highest Warlock I've had is 25.
Yeah, so it gets a little more.
But I didn't die though.
Hectic when you get higher up because you start dealing with the mobs that hurt you more, like your pet stop tanking. I don't know.
Well,
if you're
but
Warlock,
are
if you're
you
like Demo
okay?
and you're playing it safe as fuck, you're like cozy. Dude.
You just brought
You're
up
so cozy.
something really important,
cozy.
though. When you work up your locks or any caster, do you make sure that you're always at least like 2 or 3 points from max defense?
Dude, everybody brings up defense. I've never once cared about my defense.
Exactly. That's why you think it's harder. Okay.
No, you
So,
naturally get
No,
your
but your
drain
defense-
tanking.
let me.
Yeah,
My warlock
defense
always
is
has
not
defense up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing to where the only hunters have problems with defense?
Mages
You can never have a defense problem. Why
Yeah.
would mages have problems? Because they have shields and shit.
No, because they never work up defense. Okay, so here,
AoE
listen.
mages, yeah, they don't because they're AoE grinding, right? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right about
like
that, but
basically.
my mage, I'm not going to AoE grind. I hate AoE grinding. It's cringe.
Oh,
I hope
I
all
hate
AoE.
it.
I hope they all
I-
die.
Well, here,
Game, of course.
let me point this out for people listening that might not know this. Okay, so you know how in vanilla WoW, all your tanks always talked about becoming uncrushable, right? Like that was a thing your tanks always talked about. You might not have known what it meant, yada yada. Well, basically, a mob 3 levels higher than you has a chance to crush you because their weapon skill is 15 points higher than your defense skill. So you get more defense to become uncrushable, and crushing blows are way worse than crit blows. So say you're a lock, let's say, what's 100? 100 would be level 20, right? Right. So say you're level 20 and you should have 100 defense, but say you've been a caster and you haven't let mobs hit you like while you've been working up. So instead of 100, you have 70 defense. So you're level 20, you go up against a level 17 mob, but that mob now has 85 weapon skill and you have 70 defense. That 3 level lower mob than you can crushing blow you and fucking half-life you in one hit. Like
I feel like nobody who struggles with defense. Every character gets hit, besides hunters and I guess mages, kind of if they're AoE.
I guess like on
my warlock, I'm
on the
tanking
lock
almost everything.
Oh, see, like I use the Void Walker.
You'll see when you get higher levels, he doesn't hold the aggro that well. He's just like a safe.
Well, I mean, remember I played Warlock all through TBC and I worked him up in vanilla. He does hold aggro for me because I just like dot and do demonology. Yeah, do wand. Like that's like the play style I'm pretty comfortable with. Like I don't do the like.
Then you just have to get some more
craziness.
defense. I pull like 5 things at a time type shit.
Yeah, see,
Like
well,
that's
that's
a couple of them, face tanking a couple.
That's something that I'm really like looking into, like making work now. Yeah, what happened to Josh? Josh like disappeared.
Yeah, my
They said
my
he used
sound
the rare
stopped
pout
working.
and vanish
Oh,
ability.
hey, yeah, we can.
I had
hear ya.
to I had to back out. I sent you a message in the show
Yeah.
chat. I had to back out of Discord and reload it to get my sound to work.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I realized partway through that little discussion, I was trying to shout something at you and nothing was happening. I was like, "What the heck is going on?"
But Crix, you
But I
crazy.
think-
You crazy.
But I'm not. My video didn't pop back into the video feed there. Apparently,
You
It's,
should
like,
be
really
able to,
delayed,
yeah,
I think.
look at the bottom and like turn camera on.
my
do you-
camera's
No,
on.
he has his camera on. You
My
can
camera's
see
on
it
in Discord. It just didn't update it didn't update it in Twitch.
Stream's just really delayed. It did it to me.
I'm
earlier, too.
literally not even seeing him. Are you
No,
seeing him,
I've been-
Crix?
I should be
Crip?
back in by then.
I can't see him.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
looking in
see
the
him.
actual Discord. I can see myself in the Discord.
I cannot
Yeah, I
see
can
you.
too.
Really?
Me
Well,
and
that's
Crix can't
probably
see
why
you.
he's not on
Sometimes you
stream.
have to leave Discord and come back.
Ah, okay. I just clicked and clicked again.
Yeah, there you go.
There, okay, he's back.
Ah, I am here. So what I was trying to say midway through that conversation, what I was yelling into my mic to no effect was I think I figured out why Bob thinks Rogue is the hardest class to level in hardcore. It's because Bob's the one playing the Rogue.
Do not
Because-
misquote me. Second hardest.
Second hardest class, sorry. Because if Bob's solution to rogues being difficult to play is to not use weapons, then I kind of question where he's coming from.
I mean, I feel you, Josh. I agree. I think it's interesting that Bob says that the two hardest characters to play are the two characters that he's played.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
know.
I'm wondering if he's just beefing up his accomplishment. Like, I leveled a rogue to 60, and it's the hardest class.
Look, I'm telling you guys right now, rogue's so fucking easy. It's crazy. It's top 3 easiest. I would say mage, hunter, rogue, bro, right there. Like you have a get out of jail free card with Vanish. Vanish is better than Feint Death. And I guess not because Feint Death is a really short cooldown.
Easy,
but Feint Death can resist, so it's kind of like that's true. That's true. It's just mind-bogglingly boring. So I keep forgetting to include it.
It's slow and boring, but man, is it hard to die.
Do you know that Vanish? You can vanish, and like if you vanish during the wrong batch, like you get pulled right out.
Yeah, but
like
if you
know that,
properly vanish, like gouge, move away, vanish, or move more than 5 feet, vanish, it'll never happen.
True.
You just do it. Just do it properly.
But that's
never
but that's a hard thing. Whereas with you're playing paladin, you just hit bubble, and there's no proper way to hit bubble. You just bubble.
Well, I mean, you
can bubble too early though. You can definitely bubble too early.
There's some skill to it, but here's the thing. Also, you're complaining with rogue.
Skill to bubbling. Bubble, flash it, fucking
Well, you still have to get away while you're bubbled.
That's true. But what I think, I never played paladin, but what I think would be crazy is, what do you do during the bubble? I'm bubbling. Do I want to run? Do I want to fight? Do I want to heal? It's like so many options. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. You don't just have a bubble. You got bubble. You got bop. You got lay on hands. You got potions. So I mean,
so much stuff.
I can bubble and then be like, I might be okay, and stay in the fight, and then decide later I'm not okay. So then I just pop and run. And then if that goes badly, I've got lay on hands. And if that goes badly, well, I've got mana again now and a potion back up. And it's like, it's difficult to die as a paladin. Like I've gotten myself into some situations and I've been fine.
Well, and priest is pretty fucking easy too, Mel. How do you feel about priest?
Yeah.
Priest is OP, but like,
I mean,
I would say
I'm still alive.
Collectively, you guys all play some of the easiest classes in the game.
You kind of have to think about it like this, because like thinking about like once my rogue was past 45, there was literally no chance I was going to die besides a DC. Like I had
class,
all
though,
of, but getting
hard class, huh?
Getting past 25 on the rogue is fucking hard.
I don't think it's hard. It's scary because Vanish is 24. It's not hard. It's scary. You're like, you don't have that you maybe because you're a rogue main, you're a way better rogue than I am. So maybe you're like, you know how good Vanish is. It's my first time.
Well, I know how good
so
everything
in my
is.
Opinion, I'm not used to Vanish, so I'm like, I'm just playing the game normally. Holy shit, I have Vanish. This is amazing.
Yeah, see, like
versus like like, oh my god, I got to make it to 24.
So like,
I guarantee I can get any class to 24. Getting to 24 is not hard.
See, and I think you're crazy. I think the hardest part of hardcore is in the early levels, like getting past 30 and stuff like that, because there's so many like tools that you don't have. And I think Winky would definitely agree with me on this too. Like, I mean, 1 to 20
because he's not here. Yeah, well, I don't know if you can do that.
1 to 20 for most classes is really hard. Like, think about Druid
right
before Cat.
I almost called him, bro. I almost called him. I think he would agree that rogue. He's made a rogue 62. I think, and a warlock. I think that he would agree that rogue is.
Oh yeah, but I'm just I'm taking it on a different note. Like, so like basically like. I remember chat telling me not to die after I hit 45 on the rogue. I kept telling him, dude, like literally, I would have to like just do something stupid or like I would have to get booted to die at this point. Like I have all my tools. Like I have every type of poison that I need for any different situation. I have all of my tools. But prior to that, like it was a bitch. And then you think about Druid, who's fucking OP as fuck. But before level 20, Druid fucking sucks. Like you're literally like smacking shit with your. Yeah, it sucks. And then like lock sucks until you have most of your stuff, and then like Paladin is pretty much easy. It's like it's just boring, right?
Yeah, the only class that I feel like is iffy at some point is Hunter before they get a pet.
Yeah, true, because you're just face taking shit and with the melee.
Everything else.
Yeah, I know nothing about Hunters.
I mean, Bob might be onto something because if you look at that death statistics thing, it even says that Rogue, outside of Warlock, Rogue is the next hardest probability to make it to 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. And, not 50, but and 40. I don't know, just 20 and 30. So by the death
Yeah.
logs, it's saying that Rogue is Warlock number 1, and then not counting Shaman because they're and Paladin because they're like you can't be both factions. But
Right.
Rogue 1, I mean Warlock 1 and Rogue 2, like the least chance of making it to 10.
I mean,
So I think
once
there's
you
another
get your
factor we're not
stuff,
taking into this though, right? Is that like priest is easy, but it's even easier because I 100% know how to play a priest, right?
True.
And
Gotcha.
so like paladin might be
Yep.
easy,
dot
but if you
bubble
go in
wand,
to a paladin,
dot bubble
and-
wand,
I'm
dot
saying the later
bubble
levels,
wand,
like
dot.
you.
Yeah, I know. I'm
have you
kidding with
leveled
you.
the
I know. I'm
priest?
kidding with you.
Fuck you.
I'm doing one
but-
tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. Especially
I
with how
have
easy you think
leveled
it
a,
is. Like
a
you
priest
still have
in
to have some skill, here,
Wrath.
guys. Like we're still saying like
You have to have skill for
3%
to
of
get any 2 to
priests get to
60. You
60,
have to
right?
have skill and knowledge. Actually,
Well,
it's not even just
so
skill;
here's
it's
what I'm
mostly
saying. No, let me
knowledge, right?
finish. Let me
Okay,
finish.
sorry.
So that's what I'm trying to say is that it's a lot about the knowledge that you have with that class. Like you can say, okay, Paladin's easy to level, so I'm gonna level a Paladin. But you know how many fucking buttons Paladin has? And maybe that's just Wrath because I leveled a Paladin in Wrath. But I had so many freaking skills that I was like, I don't even know where to put this on my bar. Like
There's less.
There's so
there's
much
less buttons in
tech.
Classic, but there's still a bunch.
I mean, think
like,
about the amount
yeah.
of locks that don't know that when you fear, you can curse a fucking wreck, and then they don't run. Like they just stand there, like
Just not even just fear, but mobs won't run. Period. Like that. What kills a lot of warlocks is they get low health and they run away.
mhm.
Like, people don't know. They just accept that it's running away. They're like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah, and like you can just curse a wreck, and they don't run,
nothing's worse.
and
Nothing's
nobody
worse
knows
than
that.
the mobs that at like a third health start running. You're like, motherfucker, like come on. Like
The mobs
You
that
can't
run
wait until
super
you're, like-
speed are the ones that drive me nuts. I'm like, "Grr."
You just got to know which ones do that.
Well, and then
Yeah.
like with the warrior, like
much
it's
all
really
humanoids.
nice, like because you can just hammy everything, right? But with the rogue, like you have to think about it preemptively and then stun right before they go, or have crippling. Like usually, I would use crippling in the offhand on anything that was like that was going to be running, right? And I would use
I've also
deadly instead of
always-
instant, so that if they did start running and I couldn't chase them, the deadly might kill them off, right?
So what are you doing on your no offhand weapon build for your rogue?
It'd be a
Where are you
very
putting
tough
do
that?
not
one.
get him started on this again, Josh.
Well, I
you
mean,
need to let
I-
that one go.
I would only do it to like level 25, but I think it would make up to level 25 easier, like a lot
So
easier.
get the hardest levels out of the way.
So I also have not done a priest solo, right? Like I've always done a priest with Bobby on some sort of character, right? And so I do think that there's a difference between soloing and, you know, having a duo or
Oh
you know,
God,
a
yeah,
couple
like
people
it's night and
within.
day. Yeah, it's night and day.
Yeah. It's like somebody said in chat, like you should mind blast, shadow word pain wand. Yes, most of the time. But for me, like I'm not always gonna get the what's the wand or what's the killing blow? Spirit tap. I'm not always gonna get spirit tap because Bob steals it all the time and we have discussions about this, but you know, whatever. And so I don't waste the mana with mind blast because he's gonna kill it and I'm gonna dot it and I'm gonna wand it because that's the best thing.
The
Also, when he's on a
finesse of
warrior,
Spirit Tap is so fun. That I duoed with the
Oh, yeah.
priest, and it took me a while to him yelling at me, but that was the fun of it. Was okay, knowing that okay, this mob's gonna die. I'm gonna leave it alone. They're gonna finish it off. They're gonna get a
Stop
Spirit Tap.
touching
We
it.
can keep going. Yeah. It's
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because you're just thinking like, oh, I need to kill this right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
oh, I know. I'm like, God damn it. But also in a duo, you usually don't need that much mana if you're not fighting like big fights, right? If I don't have to heal, I don't need mana, right? And usually I don't have to heal. Now I will say it's easier with a pally, like working up with a pally because you can shield them. Working up with Bob as a warrior is a lot harder because I can't really shield him to have him avoid damage because he won't get any rage. And
Yeah,
so I'm
definitely like
"All right, fine."
crutches me, which is a little bit rough.
He gets mad at me when I pull things. He's like, "Why are you pulling things? You're not the tank." And I'm like, "I know, but I really just wanted to like keep going." And
But I get
move this
so
thing
much rage from the charge, right? Like And like,
Yeah,
it's
but
just like
I get so
it's
much
rough.
joy from just killing it
Like,
myself.
I feel like I should have always just worked up a rogue with you, because a rogue priest would be so fucking broken. Like because you'd be basically a tank, because you'd have the shields constantly, and like you'd just be like, you have all that dodge, like be
You
beautiful.
hope you'd have the shields constantly. I mean, you'd have to work for that shit. I don't just give them out freely, you know?
Well, okay. So, does anybody else want to talk about any like stories or anything? Because I'd like to ask Crix about our guild that I'm not involved in the raids, Frontier, but I'd like
You
to
guys,
talk
so
about the
many
raids.
people said congrats to us while we were requesting about the Molten Core clear. We're like, oh yeah.
And we're like, thanks.
Like, yeah, hey, you're welcome. I'm working on my ult.
They were like, did you have a character in the raid? And we're like, no,
Nope.
we didn't. Sorry.
We've almost made it to 30 though.
Almost made it 30. So I'm playing the hardest
Seven
character in the game.
Hardest part's
a rogue.
almost over.
Hardest part,
Oh,
dude, that
God.
is like, I guarantee you, Wiki would agree that the hardest part is 1 to 220 or 1 to 25 on almost every class.
I thoroughly disagree.
Well,
Okay,
you've only
so
played
here's the
Paladin
thing.
up that high. So when
No,
you play
might
another
be-
class at solo, let me know.
I have,
Okay, it
I have
might be
played
harder.
every class, not on hardcore, but I have played every class.
It might be harder to get to level 20, but it's not as depressing to die before level 20. Like, can we be honest?
True,
Like, you
true.
die before level 20 and it's like,
You're like,
okay, like, I'll start again, right? You
Yep.
die after 40 or 50 and you're like, God
You died,
damn it.
dude. When we died on the Druid Priest at 35 there in Stranglethorn Vale, like that would hurt. That would hurt.
Mhm.
Like we had got complacent. That would hurt.
Yeah, that one hurts. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, so I haven't been leveling on hardcore much because I've been waiting for Bob to catch up. Luckily, I went out of town all last week.
What are you
And
doing with your
so-
characters that didn't die? Are they
No,
all
I
priests?
have.
Oh no, she
No,
just keeps the same
I'm on the
character, and I
same
just keep
character.
catching
So-
back up.
Oh, I
'Cause
thought you
Bob
just
can
started
work
a new one
up-
with him.
No, because Bob can work up during the day, right? So Bobby can work up during the day, and then I work and do things. And then I was out of town all last week, so he was able to work up to like 27. And then the first time he died, I helped him through like a couple of the quests and helped him level back up. So I've been on the same character the whole time, but I have my bank ult, and I want to know from Crix, how do you think? So have you leveled any other characters, or have you just leveled the one?
I have been waiting to level a character up till my Warlock has been ready for Nax, which it is as of yesterday.
So you haven't
Oh.
even experienced the like.
I started a rogue yesterday.
being
and
able
I
to, like,
played for,
boost your
5 minutes,
tune?
10 minutes. No,
Like-
and which is going to be great because I'm going rogue first. I already
Oh,
made it on a rogue, but I
See,
made it on a
rogue
rogue
and-
with
Rick.
anything.
Rick, it's really
Rogue
hard,
and
though.
Warrior will be so cool with all the gear, like and
Like, I'll be able to
fiery
get weapons and
weapon.
stuff.
Oh my god,
I'm
dude!
not going to do fiery weapon. That feels like, I don't know. Something,
It's a
I don't
cheat.
want to do fiery weapon.
It's a
Yeah, I don't
cheat.
want to do
It's
fiery
a
weapon. But I am
Dude.
going to buy weapons off the auction house, though.
dude with my fucking Warrior. Like this is the third Warrior I've like worked up, and I'd never tried Warrior in hardcore prior. And like it feels so good. Like I literally have the weapons waiting, like just like every 3 levels if they're greens. They're blues. It's like
fiery
every
weapon's
6
really
level.
cheap. It's only 4 radius and essence.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not a cheat.
Dude.
I just feel like it's like the thing was when they the thing that I didn't like about the trading aspect of things when they said they were going to do it was that you can just super twink it all. Just go
But-
crazy.
Well, and that's
As
the thing.
long
is
as you
that-
understand, like, dude, I want to tell all the warriors that did solo self-found, I ain't done shit compared to you. Like, with this tune that's like about to hit 30, I've fucking like had a good weapon the entire time, and it's been
feeling of-
glorious.
like Baron, my fusion rate GM, he just made it to 60 on his warrior full solo self found, and it's like that has to feel.
Oh yeah.
It's
so
gotta feel
Like,
good,
when I make
but
it to
it feels
60 on the
it's gotta
when I
feel
one-shot
horrible
this rogue
going
to
up.
60 because it's one of the easiest classes in the game. I want to be able to look at myself and go, I didn't just stock it with gold and flasks and fiery. I wanted to be like, okay, well, I did buy weapons for myself though. because I hated on my rogue. I had Cruel Blade for like until 50 or so, until Thrash Blade. It was crazy. Like I had no good weapons. The worst RNG ever.
Well,
It was
see,
nice to be able, maybe send them some bags, something minor. Like
I'm working
the
up
bags.
a lock.
it's not that big of a deal because
Bags is
I'm not even looting everything. I
I'm-
don't need the gold. I have a main. You know what I mean?
I'm working up an alt lock and like easiest class in the
Saw you,
game.
dude.
So yeah.
I
So
saw
I've
you,
been
yeah.
so
Easiest class in the game.
okay. Well, I will say though, like the early levels have been absurdly different than like working up a rogue or a warrior, like or even a druid. Like
You were
you've
in a
got the
group of
imp,
3 for most of it, though.
Like
Oh, you piece of
okay,
shit.
no, I
You
was in a group
scumlord.
of 2 for most of it. You came for like an hour and a half out of
I
the
was there
5-hour
from
session.
I was there from 4 till 11. No, 9.
You're talking about levels. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you were there for an hour and a half out of the 4.5 hour like playtime. And Alan was there. And Al, Al butt
Well, I get it.
pulls
That's
so
a
many
handicap,
things
but,
that like Al almost killed us a few times. But like what I'm saying is that like
I don't believe it.
I was like in the starting area just pulling like 6 things with Immolate, whereas like if I tried to pull 6 things on the rogue or the warrior, I would have just
You're
died.
not pulling 6 things with emulated solo though.
I was because Al was over there killing his
Yeah,
own
but
things.
if you're solo level 15, trust
Level
me, you're not
15,
emulating.
yes,
You're
yes.
not
What I'm-
emulating.
And
yeah,
he's
but
like level
I'm
5.
I'm
Oh yeah, you could,
talking about
you
like
have to,
level 1 to
you have to, like,
10.
You have to try to die at those sub levels.
So wait, you're not
With-
trying
yeah,
to imply
with
that 1 to
that
20 are the
character.
easy levels, are you?
With
Because 1 to 20 are the
lock,
hardest levels. It doesn't get easy till you hit 40.
it depends on the class. With lock, like basically 1 to 15 was just a joke, and then after I got past like that, like I was like, oh, okay, I almost died there. Okay, well maybe I should slow down. Whereas with the rogue or the warrior, it's like the early like those same levels. It's like, oh, I killed the one mob. Okay, good. Like, and that's with like the bad gear, right? But like, I think that's just the way it goes across the board with casters and melee. Like, casters scale way good early on without gear, whereas like melee scale really good with gear later on, right?
I think you're just coped out of your mind because rogue is so easy. It's crazy.
Dude, warlock is
I
so
will
much
agree,
easier
Warlock
than
is
rogue.
easy.
Unbelievable.
When people complain, like these death statistics don't make sense to me. I can't logically make sense of why people are struggling with warlock. I really
It
can't.
probably,
It's so
it
fucking
probably
good.
requires a base amount of skill to play.
Well,
That's
and knowing the
legitimate consensus, yeah.
knowing the class and stuff. Like we've both played a lot of lock over the years,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can agree that rogue, priest, and paladin are the easiest classes. And that,
I think we can definitely agree
warrior
that
can slide in at number
hunter,
4.
warlock, and paladin are the easiest classes.
Can we agree that fuck hunters and fuck AoE mages? Can we just agree on that?
We could remove them and just go on with our lives and feel good about it.
We lost
right?
2 mages in our MC raid today, and I hate mages. I didn't want to see my friends die, but I was like, fuck yeah, at least it's a mage. So like earlier before I do predictions on chat to see that someone's gonna die in raid, right? And I was like, oh, I think someone's gonna die. We're doing BWL and Nax tomorrow, so I was like, I think people are for sure gonna die. And I was like, I just hope it's a mage out of all things. I don't hope it's a mage because we don't have a lot of mages left, and they are all right, but like, I hope it's a mage. And look what happened.
Yeah, you
Double
just
mage,
hope
back
it's
to back.
not a warrior, right?
Yeah, no warrior, no rogues. We have 960 warlocks in the guild, some of the best warlocks in the game. So
Wow.
we can afford losing a war. To be honest, more than anything, we can afford to lose like 4 warlocks. To be honest, but I don't want it to happen because they're my boys, and I don't want to.
It's just like you're not going to pull fucking threat as a lock, so like you're not going to die.
Oh yeah, you definitely can pull some threat as a lock if you're
Really?
If in the very beginning, yeah.
Oh,
people send shadow bolts right away and they crit 2
Yeah,
times in a row,
if you have a couple of crits, but like
we don't do that. Like you have Trill, who literally is like the number 1 Mr. World of Warcraft. Trill, like the guy who won like the AWC retail and got world first in retail in the same fucking like time zone, like that guy. And then Silly, who's one of the best warlocks, and me, and then Stacey. You have like literally like 8 of the best warlocks in Play Classic. Like we don't shadow bolt right away. You get our curse, an immolate, a corruption, a siphon life, and then you get some shadow bolts. Like by the time that we're shadow bolting, we can crit the rest of them the whole time, and we won't pull aggro.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. There's been a couple of close times though. We've got a couple.
Okay, so I want to hear about this. Like, I want to hear Crix's story of leveling and raiding and stuff.
Yeah. Let's hear that.
Are you
I
ready?
mean, I know it's very similar to my story, Crix, so it might be redundant, but if you could just.
All right.
For the audio listeners, Crix is finishing his drink so he can talk.
Well, wait, my mic's fucked up. It started on whatever the 24th was. I think that was a Thursday, right? Wednesday, the night before, my friend Only Black Smoke, the legend, the guy who's made the priest 7 times, one of them naked with bare fists and used star shards as a night off the whole way to 60. That guy. Drove down here from Seattle, 3 hours away. I'm in Portland. I set up a desk behind me, and we went to Costco and stocked up on goodies like peanuts, almonds, Red Bulls.
Essentials.
And we went to bed. We stayed up hell late, woke up an hour or two before launch, and we hit it hard. 38 hours on launch. Slept for 5 hours, got back up another 32 hours, went to bed for another 5 hours, woke back up, banged out at 24 hours. Okay. Then he had to go. He had to get married. He got married 2 days later. Congratulations.
Seriously? Was that his bachelor party?
It was, yeah. And what's dope is his now wife was having a bachelorette party in Portland as well. So he was like, babe, he was like, or I should say they. But they were like, I was trying to like finesse like my wife, like, hey, I want to go down and play video games for a week before my wedding. But she was trying to finesse doing the bachelorette party, so it was kind of cool. So they really were like a few miles from each other doing their own kind of parties, right? So
that's awesome.
First time I've LAN party since original WoW. This dude is within arm's reach. We're sharing vapes with each other, like that close.
That's awesome.
He went priest, I went warlock, I went affliction warlock just because of the priest gameplay. And we didn't have any troubles. We had the closest death we had was in Red Ridge. We were doing just a null quest. He fear bombed. Everything respawned right when he fear bomb. Of course, I'm running demonology because it's the safest warlock spec you could possibly run. Fuck affliction, even though it's really good. And my void sacrifice saved my life. I had like 5 health left. It was bananas. And then the closest death was an Olderman with my friend C Dank was with us. I don't know if you guys saw that clip where C Dank charged into this fucking, after we killed a boss, he charged into a thing, didn't see the pat. He got clapped out. I'm second on threat because I was trying to pump. Yeah, I was trying to pump. I was second on threat. I had like fucking 100 health left. Grace for Days was in the group. Grace for Days' last bit of mana was used on a regrowth to save my life, while Only Black Smoke's last bit of mana was used on a fucking bubble to like bubble me for the regrowth. It was fucking crazy. It was so dope. Other than that, we didn't have any trouble. Only Black Smoke had to leave early, like mid 40s, like 45, 46. So I was then left to be solo. I respect the demonology because I was solo at this point. And then I was doing another Ultimate the next day with Stay Safe and his partner Vooz. And Stay Safe goes, hey, a lot of people are getting DC'd. Let's do a trio. So we did a trio with him for, I don't know, 4 or 5 levels. And then I pretty much was solo the rest of the way. And I was pretty safe. I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm pretty fucking safe. So I just, pulled when I felt safe, single pulled, got to 60 with pretty much ease, just 58 to 60 in dungeons, pretty much.
When did you get, at what time frame? So it came out on Thursday?
5 days played, 6 days after launch. So I had like 5 hours, I had a total of like 15 hours of sleep or something by the time that I was 60.
Whew.
Damn.
15 or 20 hours of sleep, one of those.
Did you ever see your wife during this time?
No, because my sleep schedule was go to bed at like 7 in the morning before she woke up. I don't know, it was weird. Yes, but because she cooked for us the whole time. But she knows how important this was.
Yeah.
My stream started with hardcore, so she knew how important it was. It wasn't like one of those like, leave me alone. It was like she came in here and like checked on us every few hours. You guys need anything to eat?
It's like, are you hydrated? Are you still alive? Yeah.
Pretty much. Then 60 happened, and I was going for World First Warlock. I didn't get it because I was on track. I was first for a while, and then because the leader died, right? And once he died, I was like, yo, I'm not sleeping. I'm first, right? And then my friend Only Black Smoke had the route, all that. And then when they had to go home, I was like, all right, well, rest XP. And then just went the rest of the way, yeah. And then I hit 60 and then started doing the previous grind.
So didn't you get world first? What world, like, were you like world third or fourth?
I was fourth, like third or fourth. I think it was fourth. Pretty sure it was fourth.
Nice.
This is my first time ever speedrunning anything leveling, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then hit 60 and started doing the normal previous grind. Nothing too crazy, just farming for some gear. It was nice. We did Molten Core a couple days later. That was smooth. We didn't lose anybody. Like it was just, world
How much
first.
scarier is it once you get to 60?
Pretty scary because it wasn't scary until we lost. Who was the first 60 to lose? I don't know who it was. I think it might have been right before Grays died, and then Grays died. Right, we saw the Grays death,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I realized, like,
Gordon.
damn,
Gordon died right before Graves, right?
yeah,
Gordon and one other.
Gordon and Vuze,
Yeah.
yeah, in the Stay Safe group. I was like, that's when it hit me. Like, if I died now, bro, I just wasted 6, 7, 8 days of my life.
Right?
And like, how do I go tell my wife that I sat in this garage and no life for no reason at all? And I'm not a big streamer. I'm not Grays. I'm not these guys who can die and get 500 subs when you die and then 600 subs the next day when you restart. We're not doing that, right? I die, I lose all my viewers. It's like, that's, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to die. I don't want to die.
God.
And it was like, that's when it was like really safe. And I played super safe. There's a couple things like we've done everything. We've done world bosses. We've done MC. We're doing BWL tomorrow. We've already done one boss of BWL. We're doing Nax tomorrow. Some of it. We've done, all the Kazakh world bosses. We've done everything. And it's like,
So
you don't want to die. It's in my head. It's in my head.
One, though. In the Psalm one, nobody died in raid, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody ever died.
Yeah,
in
Psalm
raid.
was faster though because there was
no.
50% experience boost.
Yeah, no. In Raid, like 3 people died during the first rag kill in Psalm, in Road to Rag. Yeah, 3 people died in the rag kill.
Oh, I thought nobody died.
Yeah, Road to Rag was a joke in comparison to this, in my opinion, because there was a 50% experience boost, which is significantly faster. It was just people were dying. Like, this was like what
it
Frontier is
50%
doing right
or was
now.
Was it 50%? I thought it ended up 50% when they added the Joyous Journeys or whatever, but
no, it was 50 the whole time, and then they dumbed it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I give Sar shit all the time because he only makes it when we like to shit talk each other. So he's only made it when he was 50%. Anyway, what our guild is doing is
60?
No, Sarth died like twice low levels, I think, and never came back. He's coping with Starfield and ICC PTR. We all know what's up. Hey, look at me. We all know what's up. Yo, hardcore's different, dog. You see a lot of these people hype up hardcore all the time. I love hardcore so much. I'm going to play the shit out of it. And then it comes out, bro, and they're like, you know what? I actually have other things to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Other commitments I've already, committed to. So
yeah, come on. And I wanted him to play because he's my best friend, bro, in the whole world. Like, I wanted him to play, and because he was like, yeah, I really want to do the raids, but like, he's not going to be in the KT kill because like we're already. Like, have you seen my gear? I'm in like ZG AQ gear right now. Like, you're not like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just hit 60. There's a ton of people hitting 60 in the world. You can just hit 60 and be like, I want to come to the raid. It's not going to happen.
Well, and this has to feel so good for you too, because I still remember this so vividly. We had ended an episode of Warcraft Reloaded. We raided you, and you died.
The elementals
60 seconds after
we raided.
It was my dude. Did you not remember? I should have told you.
I do remember that now. Yeah, now that you said it.
Yeah, like we came in, we were like, "What's up, dude?" And you died.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so horrible.
That was the last. So I died there, and I didn't play hardcore for a year after that. 9 months after that.
Yeah,
so
dude, it felt so bad because I was like so excited. I was like, "Crix, we're raiding you." You're like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah.
And it made me what made me the most mad was I quit Classic and BWL phase because I fucking despised it. I love PvP. I hated the World Buff scene. There was before Chrono Booms.
Well, Ed Locks,
I'm a mythic, like cutting edge retail player. I hated how easy the fucking raid mechanics were. It was just and Warlock sucked. It was just miserable. So I quit. And what pissed me off was I've always second guessed myself. Maybe I shouldn't have quit. I don't know. Maybe I should.
You should have just played Warrior.
And if I did it, if I would have stuck with it, I would have known about that elemental shit. I didn't know that was a thing that was not in the game normally, right?
I mean, honestly, most people don't know about that. Like,
yeah, it fucking sucks. And then of course,
like people know about it now because of you. Like,
yeah,
like,
and that's hardcore is 90% knowledge.
Yep.
And if
that's
you're
what
like
I said earlier.
I wasn't a big Classic Andy. I'm a TBC Andy from back in the day. Even back in the day, I love TBC. That's where I put most of my time in vanilla. The vanilla days was TBC. I played a shit ton of vanilla, but it was TBC when I was like 16, like figuring out rate and like specs and stuff. And so like I didn't do Classic private servers and I quit. So it's like I should have been, man, should I stay with Classic? I don't know all those stuff that everybody does.
You should have definitely stayed.
So for those of us who don't know
Definitely
about this
should've.
elemental thing, what are we talking about?
It's an elemental invasion that sits inside of Winter Grasp.
Yeah, and basically, it's a huge ass mob that is an elite that just killed Crix outright.
It's a thick bitch with some ads.
Ouch.
And it trucks like you wouldn't believe. She fucks, bro.
All right, sorry. We just got Mel to run out of the door.
I like how we're in sync without even being in sync. You know?
Yep. Using
Not
that
even
Go
planning that.
XLR, aren't you?
Ooh, yep.
I love it. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, man. Dude, hardcore's fucking fun, guys. Like,
It's a lot of fun. It is.
it's so much fun. Like, I'm having a blast raiding in Wrath. But, like, honestly, like, unless I'm working up a character in Wrath, I don't really give a shit. I am kind of excited to work up another character, though, for RDF. Like, just, like, dungeon grind a character up. Like, that does sound pretty fun. And I might try it. But I don't know. Like, hardcore has me so, like, stuck right now. Like, I just want to play hardcore, and I'm glad I'm in a raid loggy situation in Wrath. Like, I have enough money, I'm good.
Because I'm a doomer, and I want to see people die in hardcore. But, like, the only guild rating seriously is mine, so it's like...
Is hardcore elite not, like, are they at least doing ZG and stuff?
Yes, they have the ZG. They've done some of MC. I think they didn't finish it because they didn't have douses.
Dude,
they're great. That's a great guild. They're pumping too. They're just...
Dude, I saw...
You're not going to keep up with us.
It's
impossible.
Like, Cat died.
Like, twice, 3 times.
I feel... Dude.
What feels bad is it's DCs.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
it's DCs,
dude.
bro.
Okay, and that's been happening to Grays too. Like, I've seen so many clips of people DCing.
Oh, you saw Grays triple DC clip?
Yeah, and like, there's been like, I watched F's in chat. Like, shout out to Wiki and F's in chat. Like, there's been so many of those, and it's got to be an add-on. Like, there's an add-on that's fucking us right now and trolling us.
I'm scared that.
I haven't added any new add-on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't added, like, I'm not adding any more add-ons. Like, I'm using the ones I have, and that's it. Like, because I haven't had it happen to me, so I'm just like, all right, no more. That's it. Like, if you tell me a cool add-on, like, I can't use it because I'm not gonna try.
See, in hardcore, I've been running like bare bones, as few add-ons as I can, because I didn't want to play it with a ton of add-ons.
I mean, it's probably the smarter way, but fucking dude, like, I run so many add-ons and so many like, dude, my macros are out of this world with the warrior. Like, when I switched to battle stance, like, I switched to sword and board. When I switched back, like, I switched back to the two-handed weapon. Like, I've got every move is basically a macro. Like, when I go to kick with shield bash, when I'm in I forget what stance it's called, but not defensive and not berserker stance, whatever the other one's called.
Stance.
Battle, yeah. Like, it switches, like, it just puts a shield on so I can interrupt. Like, I use so many macros. I got a macro that does, like, drops my training dummy and does swiftest pot. Like, I'm macro heavy and add-on heavy. Like, I don't know how you play bare bones.
Can we talk about the, like, changes from, like, going from Wrath? Like, I haven't played hardcore or vanilla since, like, early on in, like, the Rudrag era, right? And going back now, I'm like, God damn it. Now I have to change out all my skills. Like, every time I get a new rank of something, I have to change it on this.
There's an add-on that changes that, but I can't get it because I'm scared.
Yeah, but I can downgrade now too, right? Like, and I have to, like, decide which heal rank to use, and, like, I was like, oh man, this is complex again. I gotta figure this out. And I'm, like, trying to remember, because I played a priest in, original classic, and I played a priest in hardcore. But now going back, I'm like, wait, is spirit really good for priest? It is right now because I have spirit tap, but, like, it just, like, so much. There's a lot.
So what was your question?
No, I was just saying, does anybody else experience like different things that they've noticed that are like,
Oh
that were
yeah,
there that are,
fucking
like,
on
way
Warrior.
more like,
Oh, okay. So yeah, change in TBC on Warrior when you do what's it? Not Bloodthirst. When you do the one that gives you rage, like that.
Blood rage?
Yeah, that puts you in combat in vanilla. In TBC and on, it does it, so you can hit it, then charge. But if you hit it in freaking vanilla, you hit blood rage and then you can't charge because you're in combat. Like, it's so annoying. Like, and I'd forgotten about that
before you charge.
because you wanted the rage before you charged. So like in vanilla, like you just have to do like charge blood rage while you're charging. Whereas like I'm used to doing it in like I raid every week multiple times on my warrior, and I'm used to doing blood rage, commanding shout, charge. Like, like that's what I'm used to doing, but I can't do that in vanilla. I have to charge blood rage, then I'm doing battle shout because like I'm not doing commanding shout. I don't even think commanding shout is that in vanilla. Like I don't even remember the one that gives you health.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, so like there's just like different intricacies that are just changed a little bit. Like so, it's like
what
that
gets
part's
me
weird.
What gets me with the paladin is how short duration everything is. I forgot how frustrating it is because like with my seals, the seals only last 30 seconds, and then if I use a judgment, it consumes my seal, so I have to refresh my seal after I judge. I've got to refresh my blessings every 5 minutes because they don't last.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like I'm constantly recasting stuff. Like I'm constantly refreshing seals, and it's just
also
kind of frustrating.
Even little
But it
things.
also
Sorry,
pulls me into the game
like
more.
5-minute buffs. Fuck that.
Those
it's
pally
terrible.
buffs are a big difference from classic to regular, huh? I see
yeah.
those.
So bad, especially in a group, having to refresh everybody's buffs every 5 minutes. It's a pain.
Yeah, imagine
But the
handing
thing is,
hellstones out to everybody instead of just having one thing down.
Well,
it pulls me back into the game though. Like playing without the add-ons and having all these little things I got to do, it makes me focus more, and I feel like it's helping me with the hardcore more than if I just had a bunch of add-ons and everything was super simple.
Yeah,
like
my
I'd zone out
add-ons
and end up getting killed.
don't make things more simple. They make things more intricate. I just have to hit less buttons to do more things at once. Like it actually makes it more complicated, but I just perform better because
I
of it.
completely disagree with that statement.
Okay, well, you're welcome.
You're
to that.
saying that it doesn't make it easier. It just makes it so you have to press less buttons.
It makes it easier, but it makes it more complicated. If that makes sense, like it makes it physically easier.
What you have to understand is
like I have less buttons I have to do.
The hardest way to play the hardest class.
I was about to say, is it about as hard as playing Rogue or what?
Explain this to me. How can it make it easier but more complicated?
Because the more complicated you get, in essence, makes it easier. But it's a more complicated thing to do. If that makes sense.
How many of those drinks have you had, Bob?
Dude, I'm telling you, like exactly. It's more complicated to use more add-ons and to use more macros, but it makes the gameplay easier because of it. Like, for instance, in Wrath on my warrior, like my warrior's geared enough, so I have heroic strike built in to every move that I do. So it's just heroic strike is queued at every possible instance, but that is more complicated to set up than just clicking heroic strike.
Oh, okay, complicated to set up. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was supposed to say.
Okay.
But yeah, like I forgot where I was going with that though. Mel, you asked. Oh, okay, yeah. The one thing I wanted to throw in is drowning. Dude, yes.
Who's drowning these days?
Dude, Okay.
Are a lot of people drowning?
A lot of people are drowning.
A lot of
apparently, according
people.
to death logs.
I knew people were drowning, but I didn't know there was like.
Okay, so do you know how different?
It's an epidemic.
Like, do you know how
I drowned
different
before. I've killed 2
it
characters when I
is?
first started playing from drowning.
Yeah, but do you know how different it is from Wrath? So I wanted to kill myself the other day, and I had to literally go underwater for 10 minutes to kill myself in Wrath. Like, I'm not kidding. Well, maybe it was 5, but either
I feel
way,
like it's either 2 or 5. I don't think it's 10.
yeah, like, dude, in like vanilla, you run out of breath fast, and then once you run out of breath, it's literally like 2 seconds before you're dead. Whereas in like Wrath, you like run out of breath, you're like, oh, finally, I ran out of breath, because it's like 10 times longer than in classic vanilla. And then like it takes like an hour and a half to die from it. Like, whereas it takes just seconds to die from it in vanilla. So I think that is hilarious. Like, Mel was just talking about the different things, and you guys talked about a bunch of things, and I just wanted to make sure to bring that up before it was done.
It is much easier to drown.
It's
you
nuts.
Gotta be aware. You got to be aware of what you're doing.
Well, rested XP is nice, because like when you're about to run out of breath, they start doing the like scary noise early, so you get out fast.
My
you shouldn't be relying on that though. You should
Code Reloaded at checkout.
When Rested XP, like I was like in a water quest, like early levels, right? Rested XP starts going, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious?
You are drowning. You are drowning.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And then I like got up to the water, and I still had like a little bar, right? And I was like, all right. I mean, I appreciate it, but it definitely got my heart rate going. I didn't need that. That's how
I feel like I don't
right?
need Rested to tell me, because as someone in chat mentioned, there's a breath bar right in the middle of your screen. Like it's so easy to not drown. You just have to be aware where your breath is, and
you also have to understand that underwater. If you're used to Wrath and the way that you drown, if you're used to Wrath and the way that you drown in Wrath, right? Like if that's what you've been playing and you just went back to play hardcore, like your breath bar can go down in Wrath, and then once you hit empty in Wrath, you still have time to usually make it up to the like air, right? In Classic, it's like your breath bar hits empty and you really are empty. You have about 0.5 seconds to get to air or you're dead.
Yeah, you better be almost there already.
Wait, okay, so I use Dominoes. Like, so where is the breath bar in the like actual default UI?
It's like in the middle of your screen, like right at eye level.
Really? Okay,
it's hard to miss it.
I mean, that's where Dominoes is.
So in Dominoes, it puts it towards the bottom. Like after the first time that I died from drowning. Well, it was the only time that I died from drowning. I put the breath bar right in, like, literally in the middle of the screen and made it huge. Like, so like, I was like, I'm never dying to this again. So like, I didn't even think about the fact that I was using Dominoes. I just went with the default where Dominoes put it, but it was like below my health bars. Like it wasn't a place that I was like really actively, or no, it was way up top. It was way up top, like the very top of the screen. So I don't know where the default UI puts it, because I've never not used Dominoes. Oh, quick, sure.
Okay,
yeah, your mic's working.
okay. Let me tell you a story. My first character ever in World of Warcraft, I was at work, my construction job, forklifting around. Cargo starts to stream. I found this game mode. I really like it. I'm going to call it Iron Man. He changed the name, obviously, but he didn't know about it at first. I rush home. I'm going to play the game. I'm so excited. I smashed to level like 12. Go to Westfall. I die instantly doing that pocket, that heirloom pocket quest, that Benny Blanco I died. Not even Benny Blanco. I died because I got trapped. Immediately start another. I go to work the next day. I'm mad. I'm fuming. I'm furious at work all day, thinking about my next character. I'm going to start another Warlock. I come home from work. I smash to level like 15, 16. I'm in the water, a foot underwater by the lighthouse down there at the bottom of Westfall, kind of where you do the Murloc quest. A half a foot underwater. I'm messing with my settings, escape, interface, yada, yada.
Oh, no.
Next thing you know, bow! Dead. The fuck happened? I drowned.
Yeah, and you didn't even get
Fast
the AA
forward.
without any like add-ons.
Exactly, because I had no add-ons. This is before I fucking loved WA. Fast forward 6 characters. I'm 5 dead warlocks deep. I'm something that we in the business called shadow zoned. That means that you just keep fucking dying and you can't make it past to a certain level.
That was what happened with my
Hard shadow
rogue.
zone.
I went 35, 28, 22, 19, 12, and then 60.
He's getting worse every time you try.
Yeah,
that's why you
I
think
was
it's so hard,
literally
huh, bud?
like, Wiki was like, Bob, you're deep in the shadow zone.
Hey, now we know why you think it's so hard, huh? The only way, the secret nobody tells anybody is the only way to get out of the shadow zone is to play a new character, a new class.
Oh, I
One
got
time.
out of it on Rogue.
You just start it. You just play with it a little bit, right? Grace for Days tells me this secret. This is back before we were anybody, right? I started Mage. My first Mage, I'm in love with it. I've hated Mage. Warlock and Mage, they hate each other. They're like, budding the whole time. I'm in love with this Mage. I can't. When do I get Blink? What's that thing that people go Blink? Cool. I can't fucking wait. I fucking hit level 20. I remember specifically babe, no! I'll go to bed in a minute. I want to hit 20. I got to hit 20 tonight. I got to fucking hit 20. I hit 20. I go to bed. I get up the next day. I go to work. All day at work, I'm fucking just back and forth. Oh, I can't wait to go home and blink for the first time. I didn't get to blink. I get to blink for the first time. I learned blink. I go to Red Ridge. I'm blinking. I'm having fun. I'm blinking. I love it.
Blink is a fun ass fucking. Blink is a fun ass thing.
Toolbox. A goddamn toolbox underneath the water. I'm dying.
Oswald's toolbox.
I'm fighting a Murloc. I'm fighting a couple Murlocs. I get the fucking toolbox. I look up. I didn't know you couldn't blink up. In my mind, I was about to blink up. I blinked, but I didn't blink. I fucking blinked, but I didn't blink. I pressed the button, but it didn't go nowhere. I went 2 feet.
Oh no!
Whatever. Drowned twice. Warlock, Mage, down, drowned.
You know where I
After that,
drowned?
I got a weak aura made specifically from, I don't know, it was like Farce or somebody, like some like special weak aura guy made it, that whenever I get 20% from not drowning, but from when, you know how you like run out of the breath and then you start drowning?
Yep.
It was when my breath bar reaches 20%, it yells, idiot, 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 and shakes my screen and shit. So I would never know that I didn't do it.
Rested XP now does it. Like when you get to
We could probably make tricks for
80%
that.
breath, like
If you
it
ask
starts
any
like making a
OG,
noise.
if you ask any like OG hardcore player about who the drowned god is, just say, hey, do you know who the drowned god is? They're gonna fucking say my name.
Dude.
That's Winky. That's anybody tactics. Anybody. They're like, oh, Crix. That's
Oh my
100%
god.
Crix,
Yeah,
you want
we
to
had
hear
add
about
in a
my
special-
drowning?
Special things to Rested for Crix.
So I'm a rogue level.
The hardest class.
Well, I don't think I died at 20. I think that rogue died at 26. So I'm at 26, right? I'm doing not Westfall, wetlands, and I'm going to the boat to kill Captain Sneal and get his little tobacco box or whatever.
Fucking quest.
So I do the quest. I kill all the mobs I need to kill. Now I just need to kill dude, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm drunk. I'm really drunk. And I'm like, all right, I'm an alchemist and a herbalist. And I was like, I got my underwater breathing potions. I'm going to take my underwater breathing potion. So I click my underwater breathing potion, which unbeknownst to me till later, I realized it was an intellect potion. But I take my potion thinking it's an underwater breathing potion. I don't have, like, the breathing thing must have been down here with, like, dominoes somewhere. And so I'm in there. I freaking kill him. I'm, like, looting him. And all of a sudden I hear this. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I look up.
It's the worst sound ever.
My fucking, like, my bar's going. And I'm like swimming and I get like literally an inch from getting out of the water and die. And I was like,
You guys, I just had the best idea.
like it was so bad, dude. It was the worst death.
I am going to randomly set Bob's alarm sound to be the sound of like dying.
No, I've
World of
already
Warcraft.
had like hardcore dreams. I don't need any more. No.
I know, but this is going to be epic, right? I'm gonna set it to that like drowning sound, right? And I'm gonna just watch and be like, wake up, and it's gonna be wonderful. See, this is the benefit of living with the person that you play hardcore with, is that you can really prey on those weaknesses, outside of the game.
It's good to victimize people like that. Yeah, I've started having weird hardcore dreams too, and I'm at the point where I've played late at night a few times. I get up because I'm trying to play around my work schedule. So like I'm playing later than I should be, and I'm getting up super early in the morning. I'm playing in the morning, and I've had a bunch of like weird hardcore dreams where I'm having these near death experiences, and I can't remember which ones are real and which ones aren't. Like I've had some really cool close calls, but I don't know if they happened or not. Like I might have been dreaming. Like I don't know anymore. I'm starting to blur that line between reality and hardcore.
I have had, this is like to me a big deal that I'm still alive and doing these raids, because I'm not a big classic Andy, and it's like a slap in the face to all the people who know that I'm not a classic Andy and they keep dying. I love it. I have dreams of dying. I have dreams of like dying in game, obviously, of my character like auto running, and how Gray's auto run Ubers. I had a dream that I auto ran in Skolo and died. Dude, and like the other day, I was like just tired last night, just tired. I was super tired. All I was doing was I'm trying to get Naxatune. I'm Naxatune now. I have I'm on my last run, and I'm alt tabbing. I'm not even running. I'm alt tabbing the tank's AFK. He's like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool. We're outside of Skolo right there, like in the doorway, and I'm alt tabbed on my rogue, just kind of like fucking with him in the meantime. And as I'm alt tabbing back and forth, my mind for some reason for a split second was like, I'm alt tabbed on my rogue, which I don't care about in a cave because it's like level 3 or 4, right? So I died. And he's auto running and fighting mobs. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I died. It's like, I'm dying on my warlock. It was like, I'm panicking about dying on the warlock right now. Like, it's so crazy.
Can we talk about this though? Like, why do you alt tab to go to your rogue instead of just putting your rogue on your other monitor?
So chat can stream.
Tell stream to suck it and just be like, sorry, I'm working over here.
Well, no, I was a safe AFK on my warlock. We were outside of Skolo in the door still, but I was so tired that when I was gonna die on my rogue, I was so used to playing hardcore, but my mind's like, oh shit. Or like I was doing a TODC on my Fury Warrior, like whatever Monday was, and I died on my warrior, and I was like,
dude, there's a ton of
wait, this is not my warlock, this is my warrior. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is it. Yeah, I was like,
there's a ton of people that have been talking shit on Grays about the whole like him dying in Ubers, like, and they're talking shit about him like alt tabbing, and like they're basically talking like, oh well, he shouldn't do that to like his, like the people he's grouping with. And I'm like, guys, like the people coming in and asking me to stream, I'm like, dude, everybody grouping with Grays knows Grays is ADD as fuck and knows what Grays is doing. Like Grays didn't endanger anybody else. Like, and like, I don't think it's a problem at all. He's a very skilled player. I think if you did it, then it would be sus. But no, I think it's fine for what Grays did.
What I want to know is the Grays clip.
He did throw.
The Grays clip that I saw, but let me ask this: the Grays clip that I saw, he was like in that like, chamber when the doors closed, right? And he was all tapped. Did he auto walk into that chamber? Like, why was he in that chamber in the beginning?
So what happens is he was in a big room, right? And you're waiting for the gate to open. So in the meantime, he was stealth and auto running into that gate. And then all of a sudden the gate is a triggered event. It opens and he ran through it and he panicked and then came out of stealth and hit all this other shit.
Yep. He probably could have just stayed in stealth and been fine. Like, but everybody's talking shit on it. I'm like, dude, everybody knows, like, they know what they're getting into if they go, like I mean, Crix is like kind of the same way, but he doesn't really alt tab. But like Crix, I remember at TwitchCon, Crix would be all over the place and be like, hold up, stop. I'd grab his head. I'd look at him and be like, focus, concentrate, Willow, concentrate. I was
bad at it. Dude.
Yeah. And he'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to go here,
bro, or I was over here.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think if you do that type of thing in a pug group, I think, yes, like you would be looked at as an asshole, but everybody running with Grays knew exactly who Grays was. So I don't think it was a problem at all. Just the problem that he died.
Well,
like that was the problem that sucked.
Yeah, and he was doing it to like try to min max and try to, you know, I think
Do
he was
the
trying
most
to
for
get
the
Black
guild.
Lotus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know.
Yeah, he was trying to do the most for
All
the
I can
guild, and
say
that's
is
what this
that sucked
DGen
more
guild is
for
doing.
Grays than it did for anybody else, right? Like he felt that harder than
Although
anyone else, and that sucks.
He got boosted back up pretty fast with the mob tagging thing. So, you know, I was like, how can I get that love? Someone's going to do that for me?
Yeah.
You have to level once to get boosted back up, though.
I think it'd be very terrifying. I'm excited to level though.
Are you?
Yeah, I love leveling. That's the most fun part of the
I do
game.
too.
You know?
I love questing.
Yeah,
I don't know
like it a
why.
lot.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
a
not a big fan of
completionist?
like, I like questing. I'm not a big fan of like grinding, but I've become more of a fan of
Same.
grinding. Just
See, I'm
not the
liking
best
the
grinding.
leveling process, but I'm kind of like, what am I going to do when I hit 60? Not if. What am I going to do when I hit 60? Because, like, I don't know if I want to grind dungeons and raid. I'll probably just start leveling another character. Like,
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
that's the glory of hardcore, though,
I
right?
think that's
Is
what the
like
majority of
challenge
people
is
are going
getting
to do.
60.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
think the majority of people are ever going to raid. I think like,
Yeah.
A majority of the people
whole
are dying
point-
at level like sub 40.
yeah, but the whole point is to get 60.
But even if you get to 60, a lot of those people aren't even going to raid. Like the people that
yeah,
are
I got to
60 right
60
now
on 2
are the
tunes.
raiders, right?
And yeah, I got to 60 on 2 tunes and was in hardcore elite, but never raided. Like I was just like, no. So
Like,
I
what
mean,
I'm
I don't
tempted
even
to
know if
do-
I'll raid if I like make it up. Like maybe if they're not to Nax by then, but like I'm pretty sure like unless a lot of people die, like there's no way I'm getting into a raid with the gear that I'd have at that point. So it doesn't really matter.
Right?
Like so.
yeah, I want to hit 60, and then I want to go back to a starting zone, take off all my armor and weapons, and see if I can get killed by a sheep.
Dude, you could do what Wiki was doing the other day. He was just like he was 60 and monitoring Hogger. And like he was watching all these people die because they thought he was there and he was going to help them. And he was like, "No, I'm like a nature watcher. I'm just like this is my AFK time while I work." Like I'm watching, and people got really mad at him from what I understand from him telling me. But he was like, "No, I'm just here.
Funny.
I'm just here to like, you know,
Just an
watch.
observer.
Yeah. I'm just nature watching."
Watching the local wildlife keep
And like
dying to
he's
Hogwarts.
watched so many people die. I don't know about you, but like, I don't help people. Do you guys help people? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't
I
help.
do.
Yeah, I don't. Like.
I help people
If
when I'm
they're in-
leveling, yeah.
If they're in my
Yeah.
group, like I'll give people buffs, I'll do all kinds of stuff. But if I see someone pull a whole shit ton of mobs, I don't
Yeah.
like.
If
I
it's
don't help
something that
them.
you could, if you make a stupid mistake, I'm not saving you.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if you make a stupid mistake that if I try to help you will make
Fuck me?
me make a stupid mistake, then don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Like me healing somebody that has 12 mobs on them, not a smart move, right?
I haven't
me
run into
healing
that yet.
me healing somebody that has like I healed somebody, we were I don't know, Ashenvale or something, and this guy accidentally pulled an extra mob, right? It's this mage or warlock, I think. He was like at 5% health. And I healed him because he was gonna die and I didn't want to see him die, right? And then he lived, but I knew if the mobs came to me that me and Bob could kill them, right? Like I wasn't too worried. But if he had 12 mobs or like a super high elite on him, like sorry dude, you're on your own.
Yeah, I've helped a bunch of people that I've seen get in sketchy situations because I know even if they do die and the mobs are on me, I know how to get away. So
Yeah.
like I'm never really concerned for my safety. So I'm like, yeah, if I see someone try and pull a mob and they accidentally get 3 and they look like they're gonna die, yeah, I'll pop over there and buff and heal them.
yeah, dude.
And
like
and then
Al
whatever.
kept doing that today, and I was like, "Al, stop it!" Like,
I was a hunter though. Hunters have no business trying to do anything.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, question. So
Hey, I'm just letting you guys know we are about 10 minutes before end of show. So get anything you want out.
so just the last question. Chris,
Yeah.
what do you think? So in my opinion, like playing solo self-found made me have a different appreciation for the hardcore scene, right?
Mhm,
And so now going in, like being able to trade or mail or have a bank alt, right? Like those are all like very much perks that like it's like, wow, this is kind of exciting, right? And they're fun and they're
It
exciting.
is fun.
But in the same note, it's like I know how much easier it's now going to be for other people to level
10, 20 times easier.
with that information. But also, I think it's fun still that you're playing hardcore and that you can't die.
Yep.
And it's kind of fun to experiment. But I do wonder, like, people that are coming in, like, that haven't played the solo self-found version of it.
Oh, yeah. They have no fucking clue.
Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts
like
on that?
it though, no matter what.
Like,
It almost feels like a majority of the people preferred the solo self-found, or the way it is now versus the solo self-found.
Well, and like you have to think about it even in the sense that like, okay, we have a ton of layers, but the solo self-found was so hard with quests, like because no one would group. So like you're literally fighting people. Yeah. You're waiting in line, or you're being an asshole because you're a druid and you're gonna get the tag regardless. Like it's that made it much harder because hold on, but because like there was so much less mobs, like you couldn't do everything that you wanted to do, so it was so much slower because of that too. But like that's my two cents. Yeah. Chris, go. Sorry.
So what's the exact question? You want to know how? What?
I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts on, like, if they came out with the solo self-found server, would you play on that? Like,
I would probably play on that every time. I have my Warlock now, which
I feel like it needs to be a server on its own, right?
Self-found, but my Warlock now, I was ahead of the pack a lot leveling. So while it was solo self-found, it kind of wasn't because I had a partner and like.
You didn't benefit as much.
I didn't get that much help. Yeah, I didn't get that much solo self-found shit. Some stuff, obviously, I went and bought potions from the auction house, stuff like that. But my rogue, my rogue that I'm borderline probably gonna play tonight or tomorrow is full. I'm buying. I want to make it to 60. I think after this rogue though, I'm gonna go full solo self-found. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's more fun than regular. I like being able to buy stuff and be able to like make your character better. But I like it was the fun of I need to be engineering or professions to level because it makes my rogue that much safer because I'm full alchemy and I need my potions. Versus now I can buy all my potions.
Yep.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? It's like stuff like that I like a lot. In terms of the community, I think it just depends on what they like. There's a lot of new people playing WoW that never played WoW before in their life. And they don't know the game that well. They don't know people that well. So they're kind of doing it. I think the non-solo self-found doesn't bug me as much if it's a fresh character. But if we're talking about me, I have a ton of gold and I can get my character everything in the world that he wants. I don't like that version that much. Not knocking anybody who does. I'm leveling my rogue like that, but like I like
what you're not gonna
what you find in the world. It's more dangerous. The thing about hardcore that makes it fun is how dangerous
everything's dangerous.
I don't want to put double fiery on my weapon, so I guess in Blazing Bob's he's not gonna use an offhand, so I guess he'd fire any weapon in his main hand. Like, and I feel like it would just be like it's different. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It is different, and I feel like there's this definite difference of solo self-found hardcore wasn't just about making it to 60. It was about this like journey of like trying to figure out what professions would go well and trying to figure out like where you could like vendor a wand, right? Where I didn't even know you could buy a wand off a vendor before hardcore, right? And like there was so
a regular just a white weapon,
yeah, there was so much more that you learned from that game. And I get it that that's not for everybody. And I think that right now, even the people that liked solo self-found are enjoying the like dynamics of this non-solo self-found environment, right? Because it's kind of fun. It's exciting and like,
it is. It's a lot of fun.
I can buy weapons and I can level a character quicker. Like that's cool. But I feel like that's going to lose its pizzazz a lot quicker than the way it was in solo self-found, right? There's going to be a lot of 60s that are going to get to 60 that maybe like that don't have the skill set that people that got to 60 before did, which is fine.
And they could
but
also
it
buy
does
gold.
Make it scarier to group, right?
They
It
could
does
also
make it
buy gold
scarier
too.
to group with other people. Yeah, they can buy gold. They can do whatever.
Yep.
Um,
I
but now you're
guarantee
grouping
there's a
with
ton of
people
60s that have
and-
bought gold. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I think it's getting more prevalent now, but gold was at one point like $20 for one single piece
gold.
of gold. Yeah.
Okay,
Now-
but
Here,
now
what's the
I'm looking right now?
What's the
now
gold site?
It's G2G is $28 for 100 gold right now.
okay. So there's probably more people
Pillager.
buying gold right now.
Hold
There's
on.
definitely people buying gold, yeah, for sure.
You're on
Yeah.
G2G. I'm looking for another one just to like see what's the name of the server. Defias Pillager. Okay, I'm on a
Buy
different
gold, yeah.
I'm on a different site.
To be
Okay,
fair,
so this is
100 gold.
this is 100 gold for $47.
Yeah, that's why I said GGG is the best site if you're going to buy gold amount. It's code Winky, by the way. It's $28
Shut up!
for
Stop
100
doing that.
gold.
Poor fucking Winky is like getting like fucked on
He set
that.
himself up for that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and
the
you
meme came from him
he
saying it.
stole the joke from Scotty J, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
They revealed that on the show when they were both here together.
I would say, like, I know people are buying gold. I don't think it's as prevalent as people. Maybe it will be as it goes down and more people are doing it, but I don't think it's as prevalent as people think it is.
I don't
definitely
know.
think
I
people
feel
buying
like
gold,
I feel like a lot of these dudes that have jobs and shit, like, I feel like they are just buying gold.
Especially if you're leveling, because 100 gold is not that much gold. That would take me, to be fair, that's a day of playing the game. I probably made 100 gold today playing it for 12 hours, doing dungeons at 60. Which
Will
is
you
kinda like
send me some fucking gold then?
the best. Oh, dude, I bought my epic mount. I got my epic mount. I got professions. I'm broke now.
Fuck
I've
you,
got professions,
fucker.
epic mount. I'm attuned for an Nax. I don't know if you remember the Nax attunement is, but that shit is
Okay,
AIDS.
but you're making gold as a level 60,
Yeah,
right?
just doing your normal dungeons at 60. You know what I mean?
Right, but most people aren't at level 60, right? And the people that are buying gold, I think, are the people
Yeah,
that
and that 100 gold
want
lasts you a
to get
while.
to
Well,
60.
think about it this way: 100 gold is $28. It costs $28 to get your mount at 40.
right. And I mean, I would do that.
Unless you're a
I'm
paladin.
gonna
I
buy-
would too.
Or a
I
warlock.
would do.
But if I didn't
I'm
have
not saying I
enough
would buy
gold,
the gold, but if I'm saying if I wasn't like who I like, if I'm just like a casual player and I'm like, dude, I'm working my construction job or whatever it was I was doing
Right.
before, and I come home, I'm not gonna grind
100 gold.
6, 7, 8 hours for 100
I have
gold to get my mount.
10
You know?
gold. I have 10
Yeah.
gold right now, and I'm 30, right? Like I have
Your
10 gold.
option is to farm gold or wait till you naturally get it at like 46, 45. You know?
Yeah.
I have
So
like
much more fun to do it yourself,
15
though,
gold.
than to buy it.
Oh, no, I have
bro.
10
So
now.
much better.
Because I bought a
It is.
5 gold weapon. I bought a
It is so much
31
better, man.
two-handed sword.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's so much better.
so like I've been like making good money off greens and blue drops. Like what?
The best
Like
thing that you can do is
farming.
level a character to level 5, so you can DE and send everything to that DE. Or have one of you guys DE in your party.
I mean, I
All
do.
the DE items are worth like 4 times as much as you vendoring the item.
true,
Mm.
true.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Underbid
But
somebody.
I'm
by,
working
like, a
up
silver.
enchanting, so
There
I
you go.
usually keep them.
There you go. Enchanting one. I do. The one thing I like about Solo Stuff on the most is the professions. That's why I
Yeah.
think, because when Hardcore started with Cargos, he made people do professions when you otherwise wouldn't be doing them while leveling. You'd skin for some
Yep.
gold or whatever else, but like you need engineering. You want to make flasks while you're leveling. Maybe you want to be a tailor and make armor. Maybe you want to make your own wands. Maybe you want to, you know what I mean?
I
You don't
like
have
it
to do
just because
that.
it's
You don't have to
harder.
do that unless it's Solo Stuff found.
Like
You're
I
out there. On my rogue, I was at 13 days played to 60 or some shit. No, that wasn't that bad. Like 9 days played or something like that, because I spent literally days farming herbs to make
Yep.
sure
Yeah.
I always had potions on me.
yeah,
You don't
like
have to do that. Now you can go spend
now you could go
30 minutes farming silver or gold to fund
Right.
your potions for
Yep.
the next.
It's
2 days,
exactly what I like. I've grinded a whole level 4 different times on this level 29, almost 30 warrior. And each time it was just to buy consumes. Like,
Yeah.
and the consumes make me a freaking powerhouse. Like,
Oh, it's
But
crazy.
I was
what
just
I liked
powerful
about
they are.
solo
I was just
self-found is
questing.
that like you just couldn't get like all of those greens. Like you were like kind of like stuck with what you got. So like I had some spirit gear, I had some, this gear, and like what I like to close this out. What I want to like ask Agane and all of the devs is if you do a solo self-found like mode, just make one new server on both EU and NA, because these poor solo self-found people are going to be so fucked on a server where like people can just group up in group of fives to do like the quests. Screwed. Yeah, like it like just make a separate server, completely separate for that mode, because that's the only way it's going to be right. Because you're like these solo self-found people are going to be screwed for any named mob quests. They're never going to get the tag unless they're a druid or a hunter. They're like never going to be able to get tags on any of the kill quests. Like, just make it a separate server. Do not make it a option to pick on the main servers. Like, that's
I haven't found it that bad at all.
I think
it hasn't been that difficult.
I think it is. I think it's. I mean, it was even difficult in Psalm with the very few people that were not playing hardcore, right?
Oh, they hated us. They hated us, dude. They were like, they hated us. Like, it's some.
And it's just different. It's like, I can't compete with the mage AoE farming over here, like all of this stuff, because he's got super high gear and is
whereas like
these things.
This time around, the mage was AoE farming. I'm like, bro, can I get into your group so I can just get this quest done? He just asked me to his group, and then I'm done with the quest in a second, and I don't have to fight him for tags, right?
That was kind of nice, right?
Like,
spawn rates are so fast, though.
Okay, but that was not the case before, right?
But I mean, like I'm talking about the server, like right now on Defias Pillager. Like I've done the whole thing solo self-found so far. I've had no issues. When I want to do a quest, I do a quest. When I need to tag a mob, I tag a mob. Like it hasn't been, the spawns are fast enough that there's not lineups for stuff. Like it hasn't been a problem.
The spawns are like scary fast though at times, right?
It depends on where you're leveling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they updated or they made so many more dynamic spawns and hyper spawns.
And they've made a lot of changes, like
subtle, like stealth changes.
Very, very subtle ones, like all the different named mobs literally respawn immediately, and that was not the case in Psalm at all. Like you just be like, oh, well, this is a 15-minute respawn time. I guess we're just not going to do this, right? Like, and that was not the way it was before. So that is
do you worry?
Weird.
Do you worry though, and this is the last thing I'll say, and Addie brings it up in chat too, but do you worry that there's not enough people that would be as interested and passionate about a solo self-found server, right? Like right now, if you were to put in an achievement for solo self-found, that would be one thing.
You think people want to walk around on the big server that everybody's on and have like a badge that says
needs to be on a different server or it's going to crash?
I really think it does, but like Mel does make a good point with like having a badge above your head.
I think the achievement's more appealing than a separate server, personally.
What I'm saying is that if there are enough
but imagine the economy on a solo self-found versus the economy of just everybody can do whatever they want.
Well, but the
economy doesn't matter for solo self-found, right?
Solo self-found server is so easy for them because they can just shut off auction house. They just shut off everything. You can't go to there's no auctionator or won't let you open it or whatever. However they do that.
Like the NPC just doesn't exist on the server, right?
The problem that I have is I want to do dungeons as solo self-found. At least once, that'd be nice. That's where if I had to choose, I would take solo self-found over all, but I do like doing dungeons in hardcore. It's kind of the fun part of hardcore, in my opinion.
I mean, you could still do dungeons and solo self-found with the hardcore add-on.
If they make it, that's the hardcore add-on now. What if they made it where the regular server are you going to be able to?
They would just make it so you have one instance lockout and then that instance
or they'd leave it.
Think about it. If they give you an achievement or a buff or something that gives you solo self-found, what breaks that solo self-found grouping with people would.
Yeah, and how do you
what
group?
What tells you that you can't group with a dungeon?
Yeah.
Game API
Right,
is not
and you
gonna be
group
like,
for a dungeon,
the
it
game
takes you 2
API is not
minutes to
going to
get
be
in
like,
there.
oh yeah, you're gonna do a dungeon, but we can tell that you're inside. You're in the dungeon in 5 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Unless there's
Right.
a timer with it, or but
Well,
that's
they
true.
could like
some janky shit people would do.
it would
Well,
be
how do the
like
rest of
where
add-ons
you're
track
only
it?
able to invite people once one person walks into the dungeon,
Yeah, but you
like
can't.
the invite thing
Oh.
comes up. And then you
could
can
go into a dungeon
invite
solo.
and then
I
like
that.
I would actually like it like once one person walks in, you invite and then those 4 people get warped right there.
I like that, actually.
and then like you guys
Like
are
it
stuck
port you
to
there.
that and you're done. Like that is your only instance lockout ever for that one. And you could run one at a time. Like I really liked the one dungeon per, because like it took a lot of stress off from like having to run multiple times to like try and get all your gear, right? Like I liked that, and like I liked the fact that like, oh shit, this is the run I have the Kroll blade. Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be fucking hype. Like, you know, like that was cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to work through, but like for right now, I don't give a shit about solo self-found. Been there, done that. Like I'll go back to it. But right now, I'm just enjoying the auction house. I'm enjoying like this different, just seeing where it goes. Like it's just something different. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It
Thank
sounds
you.
like you guys are too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Nothing
playing
more fun.
solo
I'm like
self-found,
fighting the urge to get on tonight type shit.
All right.
Tomorrow's
Well,
a
we
big
should
day.
probably wrap it up, right?
Big day.
Yep.
Big day.
Oh yeah. Tell us about the big day tomorrow before I wrap us up. Just give us
We're
the
starting with
agenda.
the
I've got
walking
it over
about
here
10
too.
o'clock in the morning Pacific, 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going with the Ragnaros kill and then Onyxia into a full BWL. Defies Pillagers, by the way, if you play there, we're going to be dropping the Oni head and the ZG buff like 10 a.m.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Anyway, yeah,
Actually,
after Onyxia, we'll drop the ZG Oni buff. Then we'll go into a lovely full BWL into a lovely not full Nax after we rebuff again.
yeah. Actually,
Wait, why not
I mean,
full
First
Nax?
everything. Because it's going to be sus going to a full Nax week 3.
this isn't going to matter for anybody catching it later, but let's just give the exact time. So,
It's going to be
So,
verbatim.
Ani
I put it
is
in the
gonna
Defies
be-
Pillager Discord. I don't know if you're in that Discord, but I have we started the Defies Pillager server Discord. I'll put it in the Twitch chat. And we
Yeah.
have a World Buffs channel where I post the World Buffs and when we're going to get it.
so
Yeah.
Ani
So far
is going to
tomorrow
be 2:30 to 2:45 p.m. Server time, and then the heart will be dropping like 2:50, and then the head will be dropping at 3. So 2:50 and 3.
Yep.
So set your hearth to storm wind, and then just if you're low level, you can go west. Like if you go to Westfall at the very south, you can swim to ZG Island. There's nothing there that will kill you, and you can get the buff from ZG Island if you're not like high enough level to go to Booty Bay. So that's a little tip for you. And then you can hearth right back to Stormwind. You can get both buffs as like a level 15, and you'll be fucking pumping for the next 2 hours.
And also, we're doing another round of ZG and Oni about 2 hours after that. So, or about 2.5 hours after that, we're dropping them again.
Like, how are you doing that?
I don't
Just
see
with a
that.
different group?
2 ZGs and 2 heads.
I don't see that in the.
Yeah,
I don't
we've
see
been
that in
splitting
the
we've
itinerary.
been splitting ZGs.
Yeah, it shows it in the world buffs on Defias Pillagers. It says ZG Heart 250,
We've
Oni
been
Head
splitting
3.
ZGs.
ZG
So we
Oh,
have 2
I'm-
heads.
I'm
And then we
looking
have
in.
an Oni head, and then we have one Oni head now. We're getting another one tomorrow.
I'm looking in the Frontier announcements. This is where I'm
Oh,
reading
yeah.
it.
It's there. Just look a little bit.
Rank BW buff
Look a
train.
little bit
A little
harder.
harder.
On Saturday.
Oh yeah. 5:30 and 5:32. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, That's going to end it for the show this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WC Reloaded. You can follow the Masters Buttons Network at the MASH Network. We want you to send us your longer form emails. You can send those to WCRpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to join our Discord, it's discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded. How can you help the pod? You can give us ratings and reviews, Spotify, iTunes. You can yell it out at Walmart. You can post it in your guild Discord. Eddie, just tell people about the show. Spam it while you're running for your life in hardcore. If you want to help out the show, Patreon or any of that stuff, you can go to warcraftreloaded.com. All the links are there. Boom. Oh, yeah. Rogue Energy, guys. I'm drinking a little grape right now. Scotty J was on the show last week, and he said Rogue Energy didn't go good with gin. I will tell you, though, it goes good with vodka. So, if you like a little bit of energy with your drink, but don't want all the sugars and everything else that Red Bull has to come with, go to Rogue Energy and use code RELOADED. Same with Rested XP. Love Rested XP. I can't say enough good about them. Mm-hmm. Use code RELOADED at checkout. Or if you want to support Josh, use code MERECasuals. And if you want to support Crix, I believe it's just Crix, right?
Crix, yeah. Yep, Crix at Rested XP, yep.
Yep. So if you would like to support any of us three, then use the code that you want to use the most, and you'll be happy that you got rested. So yeah, it's basically all there is here. Josh, where can we find you? Episode.
What's that? Where can you find me?
Yeah.
I got the Mere Pad. Oh man, I can't talk. I'm so tired. Mere Casuals podcast. You can find it at anywhere you get your podcasts. I also occasionally stream on It's Josh the Paladin on Twitch and my YouTube, where I've started making some videos, although I haven't been dying enough on hardcore to get the death clips up yet. That is just Josh the Paladin on YouTube. That's where you can find me.
Awesome. And Crix, where can we find you?
Crix Vibes everywhere. Stay safe out there. Be safe. Don't die.
And it's Crix Vibes with a Z at the end, not an S. Z. Mel, where can we find you?
You can find me. We go over this every week. You can find me in the Discord.
Which is where?
Discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded.
All right. And you can find me on Twitter at Blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. You can also find me on Twitch and sometimes on Kick at BlazinBob. Guys, this has been an awesome episode. I love talking hardcore stories. I hope you Wrath Andes aren't angry with us, but guys, we'll be talking about Wrath a shit ton soon. So just chill out. Try out hardcore. You'll be happy you did.
You'll like it.
Unless you die, then you'll be bitter.
No, it actually, every time you die, it gets easier. It really does.
Experience.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace, boys.
Thank you very much for checking out Warcraft Reloaded Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future content.